website, or phone line with major credit cards and digital wallets accepted. City officials say the move, approved in the 2026-27 budget, supports more efficient digital services. A new trade agreement between Saskatchewan and a state in Brazil is aimed at expanding business opportunities. The MOU creates a framework to support trade and investment in agriculture, mining, education, and technology. The signing was part of Saskatchewan's trade mission to Brazil. Brazil ranks as the province's fourth largest export market, with exports totaling $1.1 billion in 2024 and $1.3 billion in the first 9 months of 2025. And the Moose Jaw Police Service is still looking for 19-year-old Travis Perlman. He was reported missing September 7th and was last seen in Moose Jaw on August 7th. Police have now added his name to the National Missing Persons database to help widen the search. His family remains concerned. Anyone with information is urged to call Moose Jaw Police or Crime Stoppers. That's 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sastoday.ca and 620ckrm.com.
Weather for B&A Petroleum and Swift Current with multiple locations serving southern Saskatchewan for over 30 years. See B&A Petroleum for all your fuel and propane needs. Tonight, partly cloudy sky and a low down to -3. Tomorrow, looking partly to mostly sunny and a high of 4 degrees. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy. Some isolated showers and sprinkles in the area. Low down to -4. Friday, partly sunny. Getting colder again, falling to -13. Saturday, partly sunny and a high of -15. And then Sunday, partly to mostly sunny and a high of -6. Currently, in downtown Regina, we have sunny sky. Sun staying up longer now. It is -4.
B&A Petroleum is a southern Saskatchewan family-owned business that's there for you. They've been supporting their clients for over 30 years with locations in several communities throughout the southern part of the province. B&A Petroleum is available for all your bulk fuel and lubricant needs, with propane at selected locations Monday to Friday. And don't forget, their Cardlock location is accessible 24 hours for your convenience. B&A Petroleum. Fuel you once, fuel you forever.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Regina Motor Products. RMP Winter Tires at Cost event on now until March 31st when you purchase a set of 4 tires. Visit RMP online or in person today. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Wednesday edition of the Sports Cage. How you doing out there? It's good to be back in the seat. Good show yesterday. We're rolling into today for Regina Motor Products, where they got the winter tire sale on till the end of March, and we're getting almost into March. It's hard to believe, and I know that's when you know you're getting old. When you talk about how the months are going by. I got a co-host with me. I'm going to introduce you to him in a moment. Colson is with me. The show today, 3 hours, jam-packed, as they say. We are going to talk tailgating. That's right. Are you one of the ones that are going into the lottery to tailgate at Rider games next year? Want to get your opinions as well. How about we talk about this year's Grey Cup in Calgary with president of the Calgary Stampeders, Jay McNeil, in about a half hour's time. Jacob Brammer from the Saskatchewan Roughriders will be with us at about 3:15. Hour 2, Rob Vanstone comes in. We're going to have a little round table. My co-host, Don Hewitt, and Vanstone and I will talk about a number of different things. We'll talk Olympics. We'll talk tailgating. We'll talk CFL. Talk WHL playoff chases as well. Sprinkle of the days in there. Hour 3, Benny Hebert, gold medalist, 2-time gold medalist. NOD style from Regina. Benny Hebert will be with us. We're hoping to get Luke Mullinder in hour 3. That might be dicey. That might be moved to to Friday. So all you Luke Mullinder fans, I'm just giving you the heads up. We'll also have the senior hockey report. What a game last night up the road. One team forcing a game 3 in A, and then we'll preview the Pats game with Dante to Caria. There it is. Don Hewitt back with me. It's almost been a month since you and I have twirled together. I was gone. You were gone. It's almost golf season.
But your son is playing good hockey these days, Barney. I know you don't want to say that.
He's playing a lot of hockey.
Both
the daughter is playing a lot of hockey too.
Yeah.
You know what the worst thing? This is like going on 4 weeks without a skate sharpener in the house. I can't survive much longer.
I could ask you a question as a hockey dad.
Okay.
Because both your kids are very busy with tight hockey schedules with your wife as well. Is it, when you're a hockey dad, is it harder to swallow the loss in the Olympics, both men's and women's teams losing the gold medal? Is it harder as a hockey dad because it's so much part of your life here in Canada?
No,
just
not at all.
It's not harder.
To me, I talked about this yesterday on the show. Didn't really bother me. Like, I know I wanted to win. I wanted to win that. Like, when it comes to the World Juniors, and now my kids are, yes, I want to win. I want Canada to win the World Juniors, but I'm just like, it's kind of a made-for-TV thing. When we go best on best Olympics, and I got all my buddies from the States, and we got this text group, but I said it. Everybody talked about how good of a hockey game it was, how awesome that was to watch. Now, for the next 4 years, until they have another Four Nations or World Cup into whatever that's going to be.
But still, the Olympic gold is still the biggest. Right?
Yeah. So, I don't know. I get why some people, it's really hard to swallow and to kind of let go that, the American, but they've been there really since 96 and that World Cup when we saw Mike Richter stand on his head. Was it hard for you to watch both of those?
Oh, I mean, I was so choked, just Canada losing both gold medal games, both, of course, as we know, in overtime. I was so choked that with the NHL starting tonight, back on schedule, I couldn't give a tinker's damn about the NHL starting, because right now I don't even want to see a hockey puck or a hockey stick because of the pain involved, Marty.
Oh.
I'm quite different from yourself. I'm having a very hard time swallowing this. These two losses.
So what are you going to turn to? Reading?
I'll watch badminton tonight if I have to, but I can't. I have no interest in NHL for at least the next week or two.
For sprinkle of the day later, we might look up some badminton lines.
I just know I was gutted. I was absolutely gutted that we lost those two games.
But the women, I didn't think that they would even have a sniff, because the U.S. is so powerful the last couple of years here. So to be leading,
they could have won. I mean, they almost scored in overtime, right? I mean, they could have won that game. The women
and Hillary Knight, that goal that she scores, the tip to tie it. We were watching it at the hotel in Phoenix.
Oh, yes.
And it was so close. And my daughter being a female hockey player, I was like, when you're that close to an upset, and then the power that is the team across the ice gets that one, it is so deflating. Because I don't know if she's been through that. Like, I think she did last year in the provincial run, but I'm like, it is so deflating, and you have to find a way to now dust yourself off, but knowing that you're outmatched. Like, and I know people don't want to say it, but I love being a realist with my kids as well. It's like, first off, life isn't fair, right? It's not. Our last name isn't Musk or Gates or any, it's not fair out there.
And that's where sports teaches us that. It's a good teacher that way.
So to be so close to that upset, but I don't know if that really would have ranked as an upset though, right? Because I don't think still a lot of people got how it's going to sound bad, but how far we're slipping behind on that women's national team side. And then I know there was a lot of people saying, well, we're too old. We need younger females. You don't think they're trying to find those younger females? And, it's hard.
And it's concerning that youth hockey numbers, minor hockey numbers are every year going down.
Well, Colson looked that up yesterday, and they're going up.
Oh, they have?
I was wrong, too.
Have they flipped, Colson?
They've been going up for, I think it was since 22. Since 22, we're up 30% on girls and 12% on boys.
And that's national? How about the
That's Hockey Canada numbers.
I would have to look into...
Now that's breaking news for me, even though it's obviously not breaking news. So how about Saskatchewan numbers? I heard Saskatchewan numbers are a little down, but...
I didn't look at Saskatchewan, and in that same article I was reading, it said 12 of the 13 provincial and territorial ones, 12 of the 13 were also growing. So there was only one, and I'm guessing it might be a territory that was shrinking.
Okay,
right?
That's interesting. That's news to me.
Yeah, me as well.
The numbers that I saw from Hockey Canada years ago didn't seem to indicate that. But getting back to how tough it is for this country to lose those 2 hockey games, because the game is still very important to us. It's part of our identity and culture. I personally feel that the gold medal hockey game on Sunday is way bigger than the Stanley Cup final.
I would concur.
Would you agree?
I would concur.
How about you, Colson? To me, it was
I would agree.
I was cheering for Edmonton in the Stanley Cup final. I was disappointed the last 2 years. As a Canadian, as a Western Canadian in particular, I was disappointed they lost in both those finals, but nothing like Sunday. Nothing like Sunday.
And I think you just look at the scope of who's watching and how many people are like that aren't really even hockey fans. Exactly. And people were glued to their, around the nation, around both nations. It was pretty intense. Okay, let's go back to that when we get a chance, and more from the Olympics. And we got a lot to talk to. Like I said, Rob Vanstone's even coming in for an hour or two, 4 to 5. So we'll talk to him. But we got to go to break. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Roughrider and Grey Cup champion Jacob Brammer. We'll be back on the Sports Cage in moments. Stay tuned.
Think about the voices that kept you company on early mornings, late nights, long drives home, the songs you grew up with, the ones you still know every word to, the games you listened to through long summer days and harvest dust. For 100 years, 620 CKRM has been right there with you. And this year, CKRM turns 100. So we're celebrating the only way we know how. Big, bold, and unforgettable. You're invited to 100 years in one night. Saturday, July 18th at the Connexus Arts Center, honoring the icons who made CKRM what it is today. Tickets go on sale soon, so keep listening to find out how to get yours. 100 years in one night. Brought to you by Mac Auction Company, GB Construction, Lori Kruger, the mortgage specialist, Cowtown, Heartland Livestock Yorkton, Quality Tire, Shepherd Realty, and 2S Auctioneers. Here's to the past, the present, and the night we celebrate it all together.
Affordability in Canada is getting worse. Canadians are now paying nearly half their paycheck towards taxes. That's more than on food, clothing, and shelter combined. It's unacceptable. Conservatives stand with hardworking Canadians and will take aim at the affordability crisis by bringing down taxes, cutting spending towards needless bureaucracy and consultants, and fight for fiscal discipline in this Liberal government. My name is Warren Stanley, your Conservative Member of Parliament for Regina Louvain, and I will always be on Saskatchewan's side.
Paid ad by Warren Steinley.
Winter in Saskatchewan tests everything, our patience, vehicles, and sometimes our bumpers. From icy parking lot dings to serious highway mishaps, choosing local matters. At Regina Motor Products Collision Center, we're Saskatchewan owned, run, and we drive these roads too. An SGI accredited full-service collision center working on all makes and models. Submit your SGI claim and book your appraisal. It's easy. When you need repairs you can trust, it's neighbors helping neighbors. Regina Motor Products Collision Center, south at Highways 1 and 6 Albert Street, rmpchevrolet.com.
Winter's not done yet, but your home projects can be. Finish the season strong with Freeze Tallman. From updating interior doors and trim to boosting attic insulation that helps keep heating costs down, Freeze Tallman has what you need. Thinking about a home office or finally setting up that home gym? Now's the time. And when it's cold outside, staying warm means staying in, so Freeze Tallman delivers right to your door. Visit freezetallman.com. Freeze Tallman. Locally owned, family grown. Rooted in our community for 70 years.
Saskatchewan, it's time to talk sports. Sportscage is on the air. Be part of the show. Call 936-6262 or toll free 1-866-767-0620. And we're always online at sportscage.com. 620 CKRM.
Welcome back on Wednesday for Regina Motor Products. We talked about the winter tire sale on until the end of March, but wow, do they have units on the lot as well. Drove by it the other day.
Now you're saying you're getting old when?
Mm-hmm.
You're getting old when I was thinking of winter tires this morning, ironically enough.
Okay.
And I thought, oh no, I better not get them changed over to summer till mid-April. And I was almost concerned about that. And when you're concerned about that particular issue on that particular date, you're getting old, Bernie.
Are you a Farmer's Almanac guy?
No, I wasn't. I didn't grow up in the rural areas. So
No?
I was bigger in the rural areas.
What does the Farmer's Almanac say about spring? We're gonna have to find that out. We'll do that in a bit.
Find out, as he always does.
All of our guests on the show join us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings, all the Greek favorites you love. Western Pizza. Let's go out on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Joining us, Grey Cup champion from our Saskatchewan Roughriders, Jacob Brammer. Jacob, do you have winter tires on your vehicle?
I don't have winter tires. I just got the all-season tires. So so they've been pretty good to me so far. Haven't had to dip into just the strictly winter tires. I actually got the tires on my car back in the States in Texas. So they don't really do winter tires down there. So I just had to go with the all-season tires.
I remember watching this year, though, when that storm rolled through the U.S., Texas was one of the places where they got a bunch of snow and people were sliding all over. And you know what, though? We are a little bit naive here, a little bit ignorant, that we don't really think about, A, how many people are down there, and then when you're not used to snow, it's like you're not supposed to know what the heck to do.
Oh, no doubt. We anytime it's about to freeze down in Texas, or at least in my part of Texas, in the Houston area, they'll shut off all the highways because they just know that people up there or down there we don't necessarily know how to do it. We don't know how to drive in that, so it's definitely a big thing. Like, schools shut down when it's getting colder out. Like if they suspect ice or anything like that, you can just count on it being a weather day at school for sure as well.
Okay, answer this honestly. Now that you've spent, I think it's probably 2 winters up here in Sasky, what is your favorite part about spending winter in Saskatchewan? Because there are some good things.
No doubt. For me, being from Texas, it's fun to get to see snow. So that's a fun part of it for me. But I'm also big, just card games, board games, anything like that. So that's really what my girlfriend and I will sit there in the house and play. Or even last off season, we were just a couple of the guys. We'd get together, just have a little card game night or something like that. So maybe we're not going out and doing stuff, but we're kind of just getting together and doing something to kind of pass the time when it is those minus 30 days or something like that. So
is your better half, is your significant other girlfriend, is she from here or is she from Texas as well?
She's from here. She's from Nipawin.
Okay, well then, have you been up there? That could be beautiful country up there in the winter.
Oh, yes.
They got the ice fishing on Tobin Lake and the snowmobiling and all that. I'm sure you've been up there in the winter.
Yeah, been up there. We haven't been ice fishing up there or anything like that, but it's definitely nice up there. It's a really nice little part of town, or part of Sask for sure.
You guys are touring around with the Grey Cup. I know a lot of people are excited about that. How many stops have you been on? And what are you taking away? Anything special that you've taken away from the couple that you've been on?
Yeah, for sure. So I've been to 2. I went to the James Smith Cree Nation, and then I also went around PA and a couple of spots around there. It's really just special. We go there. In James Smith Cree Nation, I went there to a school. We kind of had everything set up in the gym, and I just kind of got to tell my story. But it's kind of cool. You get to hear everyone else's background, all the teachers. There was even family members and everything that kind of showed up to it. Just seeing how much it means to the province itself. And then also, like, just going to PA, we were in a co-op, and I probably heard from 20 to 25 different people, just kind of like how much it meant to them. So just hearing their story and what what the Riders mean and what the Grey Cup means to this province. It's shined a light in my eye on kind of just how much or how special this thing is. Just coming from the States, I didn't know a ton about the Grey Cup, but in the 2 seasons I've been up here, I've learned a lot about it, and I've learned that Sask people and people, like, I grew up in Texas, like I said earlier, so people love football up here similar to how they do in Texas. So it kind of has that, like, home away from home feeling for me, and I know how much people love football back home. So just getting to go out in the community. I even got to go talk with a minor football league out in PA, and just getting to talk to some of those kids, telling them my story, everything like that. It's really special to just kind of give anyone my story, and if I can give hope to any kid that may be in my shoes one day, I'd love to do that at any time, you know?
Yeah, but when you talk to the kids about your story, maybe tell us your story. What do you tell them, and tell us about yourself and your story?
Yeah, for sure. So I was recruited out of high school, wasn't getting the big looks, so I ended up going to the University of North Texas, which I loved it. I spent 5 years there. I got my undergrad and my master's program done there, and then was fortunate enough with the COVID year, I was able to grad transfer out to the University of Vanderbilt. So, I mean, I got to go there. I got to go play at Alabama, Georgia, just all these big-name schools, and kind of just travel all over the States with them. And then I kind of spent rookie mini camps with the Dolphins and the Giants. Nothing really stuck there, and so I kind of had 6 to 8 months off of football where I was figuring out what my next steps would be. So I kind of, before I ended up coming up here to Sask. So I told them, and I tell the schools that we go around doing our Win with Wellness presentations with the Rider Foundation, I just kind of tell them, like, those were like some of the toughest times of my career, was when the NFL didn't work out. I'd had this big dream of always wanting to play in the NFL, and just kind of telling them, like, just being able to kind of rely on your support system and stuff like that. Like, even through these tough times, like, everyone's going to go through it. It's just a matter of being able to kind of pick yourself and, like, knocking off the dust and keep going. So that's one big thing that I try to tell the kids, and really anyone that asks about it. Just like those adversity is going to hit no matter what. It's just a matter of being able to kind of bounce back from it at any time.
So, like, you talk about adversity and what you've seen not only with yourself but other players too. When you look at your background and your struggles, and now this year you not only win a Grey Cup, but you're an All-Star. Did hard work sort of turn you into a Cinderella story in some respects as a football player?
Maybe from the outside looking in my eyes, like, I feel like I've always had it, but definitely, like, I feel like I kind of got overlooked in coming out of high school, and then even, like, in the transfer portal. I don't regret any of the decisions I made school-wise. I loved my time at North Texas and at Vanderbilt as well, but definitely felt kind of, like, overlooked when Vanderbilt was, like, only, like, the big SEC school that I got, or any other bigger schools like that. So had that kind of, like, chip on my shoulder, and that's definitely, like, kind of just I've just kept it with me as I go through my career. And even, like, I always tell people, like, playing next to our offensive line, really our whole team, we have a bunch of guys who just push everyone to be better each and every day. So playing next to Logan Furland and Jamarcus Hardrick, it's they show up to work every day, and we always have, like, it's like a brotherhood in our offensive line, and, like, everyone's pushing everyone to be better. So they make it easy to kind of show up to work every day, and then that also stems from Coach Mace as well. They try to make it to where everyone kind of has that chip on our shoulder attitude about not only, like, our life, but just, like, the game of football as well. So, yeah.
Joining us here is Jacob Brammer from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I have to ask you, you played at Vanderbilt, and a lot of people out there listening might not go, they've heard of Vanderbilt. They don't know that bad boy's right in Nashville. What a place to go to college. Now, I know you weren't there. I don't think so anyway.
But when they beat Alabama and they took those goalposts down Broadway and they threw them in that river, that is something out of a Disney movie. Like, I can't believe that still happened. And you've been there. What's your take on that?
I was watching that game, actually. Me and a couple of the guys on the O-line, we kind of had it pulled up, just watching. And I've always had faith in Clark Lee, our head coach. I was there his second year at Vanderbilt. He's born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee, and he played there. So he's got the right sort of thing going there, and everyone kind of buys in, similar to like with Coach Mays here. But yeah, like just seeing that, I was so excited for the guys that I was on the team with, the coaching staff and everything. It was one of the most surreal things because whenever I was there, we beat Kentucky, and I think that was our first road SEC win in God knows how long. And then we also beat Florida, and that was our first SEC home win. So then to see them kind of continue that success has been pretty special to see.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. And I've always thought I was at the Jersey Mikes right by the stadium with my wife, and they were playing Alabama like 8 years ago, and we're like, we should go in. You might have been playing, but it was like 62-0 at half, and I'm like, we'll take the option, and then they ended up beating them. No, but hey, and Rob Vanstone wrote a nice story about you. It's on Riderville as well, Jacob. And just when you re-sign with the Riders or extend. It was about chemistry, and I know that term's overused a lot, but when you talk to your football brethren that are maybe playing other places and all that, everyone wants to talk about having good chemistry and having a good locker room in any sport and all that, but you mentioned a couple of the guys here. It does seem super real and authentic in Sasky.
No doubt. I was telling someone the other day in an interview as well, kind of like we have that this past season really the past two seasons, it's kind of felt like a college team, so to say, to where we kind of we always were looking to hang out with each other, whether that be post-practice, days off, something like that. I lived with Logan Ferland during the season, so he was always putting together not just offensive line. We'd really have anyone who was free to come over. It was a free invite from the whole team to come over. He puts together a couple briskets on the smoker, gets some ribs and wings going as well, and then everyone it's like a potluck. Everyone kind of brings a snack or something like that, drinks, and then I don't know. It's been a great experience for me, and that was a big thing when I did resign. I love the guy, like the team that we have, the coaches that we have. Everything feels like a brotherhood from top down. So it meant a lot to me to kind of keep that thing going.
So you talk about keeping it going. Of course, the hope is that you repeat as a Grey Cup champion, obviously, Jacob, and something that's very hard to do in the CFL. It's been proven it's hard to do because there's so much parity with salaries and et cetera. So as veterans now that just won a championship, you're still going to be having some new players coming in, some new starters because of some of the players that left via free agency. Do you all sort of feel it's part of your responsibility to sort of bring the newer players in and try to show them what your team is all about with the closeness, et cetera?
Yeah, and I mean, I think that kind of starts with like Mace and our whole coaching staff, kind of how I hit on earlier, how they kind of like instill that like chip on your shoulder attitude about everyone. So I know it was like talked about to me whenever I first got there. It's like, hey, look, we all came from these different backgrounds, different places and stuff like that, but we're all here with one goal in mind. And it's not so much like thinking so far ahead. We're just trying to go 1-0 every week. So I know that would be nice. Like end goal that's everyone's goal. But yeah, so like Mace does a great job just keeping everyone kind of focused. The whole team, our leaders like Trevor, Yosh, Logan, AJ, Therm, people like that. They do a really good job about not letting us as a whole team kind of start thinking too far ahead. We do a pretty good job just keeping our head down, focused on the week at hand, and just taking that one step at a time.
Okay, before we let you go, we got to find out, though, what's the board game of choice? You said you're a big board game player in the winter. What's the best one to play?
Well, maybe not board games. We've been playing card games a lot. There's one my girlfriend actually found. It's called Dutch Blitz. It's like a faster-paced game, but if we're not playing that, we'll play, what's it called? Golf? I don't know if you guys have played that at all.
I love that.
Slower paced game.
Yeah.
That's a fun one for us. You can play with however many people. We get a big group of the guys coming over, and so it's a good time for sure.
Right on. All
Keeps
right.
the competitive vibes going through the off season.
Exactly. And you talk about it being a college atmosphere here in Saskatchewan. We don't want anyone to get any ideas of ripping down goalposts and taking them into Wascana Lake, though. We don't need any.
No doubt.
All right, Jacob. This has been awesome. Thanks for making some time today, and continue with the Grey Cup celebrations around the province. I know a lot of people are excited to see you guys, and then you're welcome to come back anytime, and good luck getting into camp here and getting ready for camp.
Awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on today, and y'all have a great day.
Right on. There he is.
Jacob.
Grey Cup champion from Houston, Texas.
Yeah, a huge part of winning that Grey Cup. Such a scrappy, tough fighter on the offensive line who, Jacob Brammer, I mean, you could just see he fights for every single inch, and great character player, physical.
I just looked into the Prairie Land Rentals text line, and James, Colleen, and Rich just talking about how much they loved that he's back with the green and white, and they get to see him again. Physical player. Really a fan favorite. And girlfriends from Nipawin, Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Some of the best fishing in the province.
Yeah, see, I'm not...
Jacob is on the bye week. Maybe he can go up there, fish up in Nipawin.
I'm not fishing guy, but I know that and they got the houseboats in and around there on Tobin Lake. Their golf course, 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Up there as well.
Beautiful country. Nipawin.
Yeah.
If you haven't been up in that area, my goodness, it's beautiful.
It's like, and then Waskesiu just across there. You just got to avoid the mosquitoes. You can't. July is always mosquito season, I tell people. And then in that late August into September, up in the northern country, now we're talking about it. So that was a good one here on the home of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. It is 620 CKRM.
He's gaining on us. Quick, let's hide in the garage. No. It's stuck. Again. You said you fixed it.
I meant to. I just never called Busy Bee Doors.
Lift it. Hurry, lift it.
It won't budge. It's busted.
Don't let a broken garage door turn into a horror story. Call Busy Bee Doors. They can fix or replace any commercial or garage door. Busy Bee Doors, the garage door specialists.
Did you know over 1.3 million homeowners call on Reliance for their water heater needs? With over 150,000 five-star online reviews and over 60 years experience, you could say Reliance Heath are water heater experts. Switch to Reliance Heath today. They'll give you $200 for all your hot water needs.
Call on Reliance.
Visit waterheaterrentals.com for details. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting in on more of the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
If it's happening in sports in Saskatchewan, we've got it covered on Sportscage. Be part of the show. Call 936-6262 or toll free 1-866-767-0620. On your radio at 620 CKRM and online at sportscage.com.
Always love when you participate. The Prairie Land Rentals text line 936-6262. Don Hewitt is with me today, former sports director at CTV Regina. Colson's on the other side of the board. Rob Vanstone going to be with us for hour number 2. Okay, we kind of started the show talking Olympics and Olympic hockey. We got Ben Hebert coming on in hour 3.
And I was saying to you, I think off mic, likely with the hockey losses, did I say this? Yeah, I think I said
Yeah,
this
you did.
The gold medal, the men's curling gold medal, was the highlight, in my opinion, of the Olympics for Canada, as it turned out. It was fabulous.
And you know what? Great Britain is the top-ranked team in the world.
Yes, defending champions.
Yeah, and it was the game that we all know. I don't usually use this word. I was riveted to the TV watching that game. I was actually exercising, as my mom calls it. I was at the gym or the game and watched the 9th and 10th end while doing cardio. The 3 people in front of me, they're glued as well. It's almost, I actually got an extra 3. I've said 10 minutes in because I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. I got to watch this. And then they won it. And the one guy turns around, gives me the fist pump, right? Because that's
a happy moment.
So cool, right? And then having Benny, who is a Regina guy, and I think a lot of people out there know him. And yeah, no guff, all that. I'm going to ask him when I interview him about Oscar from Sweden and that clip. But yeah, it was just that game and how it finished, and it was perfect. Rachel Homan, you look at, obviously they wanted gold, but she's been deprived of a medal at the Olympics. So for them to grind out that bronze, I don't think we really know, how much went into that, to putting yourself together to go back to be like, okay, it's not gold, but we got to win a bloody medal here.
And they did. And, you talk about curling royalty from Saskatchewan. The top of the list, of course, is the Ernie Richardson rink. But Ben Hebert is now in the record books as a curler from Saskatchewan as one of the greatest of all time.
Yes.
Without question. With all that he's done, including 2 gold medals in the Olympics. He's at or near the top of the list now, even though he's never curled for Saskatchewan in terms of the national level.
Junior.
In terms of outside of junior, he's never curled for Saskatchewan, but he's still from Saskatchewan, and he'll go down in the annals as one of the greatest curlers of all time from this province, without question.
I'm curious to ask him about the Oscar, the Sweden thing. I'm also curious to ask him about maybe possibly can he do it at 46? Can he look 4 years down the road to the next one? We'll see.
Well, you know what
he has to say
with Hebert and Gallant. When you're watching that gold medal game, one of the things you think about is they have the best sweeping, in curling.
Yeah.
Those 2 are the best 2 together. So if they're the best in the world right now, and Jacobs, and Kennedy, they'll tell you, then why can't they go another year or 2? Because they're the best in the world now as sweepers. There's no doubt about it.
I could see them go another year or 2, but Benny is so wrapped up into his kids, and his kids are at that age where they, he likes coaching them, I think, and he wants to be around. So, it'll be an interesting conversation in hour 3. Let's go back out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. Let's keep the CFL football talk going. Joining us from the Calgary Stampeders president, Jay McNeil, on this Wednesday. Jay, thanks for coming on, the official broadcaster of the Grey Cup champion, Saskatchewan Roughriders.
He managed a bit of a smile. Not, it was a short smile, but he managed.
You're expecting nothing less, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah. You know what? Interesting week for you guys. I was listening and I was talking to Jock Wilson there in Calgary and listening to the stations out there like I do every morning. And you guys had a presser a couple days ago just getting ready for the Grey Cup next year in Calgary. Now, we know, I already had a text message here today on the Prairie Line Rentals text line. Someone's already got their Hilton booked in downtown Calgary for next year. It's so close Calgary, a lot of Saski people. It is a great city to party in. We see that every July with the Stampede. But what did you guys talk about? What were maybe the major takeaways this week at the Pressure that you want people to know?
Yeah, a great question. And first off, thanks very much for having me. I really appreciate this. And yeah, exciting week for us. I think obviously, title partner to our, for our Grey Cup Festival with Synovus Energy, which they stepped up and have been a tremendous partner, and we're really excited for them to come on board. So I think that was, a big piece to this. But really, it was this week was about we're kicking off the brand of the 2026 Grey Cup Festival. That's what we were focused on. And Calgary is such a great city from a host perspective when you look at the Stampede and everything that has become. It's evolved into a music festival, and we love to welcome people, especially at the BMO Center there at Stampede Grounds. And we want to be an extension of that when we think about it. We want to build on the Grey Cups from the past, and we want to leverage our experience as a city with the Stampede and make this one of the greatest Grey Cup festivals in history. So we're really excited about this opportunity.
I would have thought too that Calgary would have hosted the Grey Cup more times than they have.
I've been asked that question since Monday, probably 10 times. And the truth is, I really don't have an answer as to why we've hosted. This will be the second time in 7 years, and then only 4 times previous to that. So that is a pretty interesting stat that I hadn't really given much thought. But you're right.
Well, I guess one question I have to ask, and because we're all hoping for a better facility than what McMahon, currently looks like in Calgary. And Mark Stephen, you're a radio play-by-play man, and I discuss McMahon Stadium and his frustrations all the time. What sort of improvements or sort of a better sort of looking situation that you're going to get hosting the Grey Cup that they're going to do to McMahon? Are they doing some work now, or will they be doing work during the season?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I think we're all well aware of the challenges within McMahon Stadium, one of the oldest stadiums in the CFL. So in order to facilitate or to host a Grey Cup, you have to have a minimum standard. And so the CFL is very transparent about what they expect from a Grey Cup level presentation. And so that's going to require us to augment the stadium and build some things out from a number of different perspectives. One is, from a fan-facing engagement perspective. So you think about our concourses that, when McMahon Stadium was built in 100 days in 1960 for a 16,000 stadium. The concourses are, quite frankly, are not built for 35,000 people. So we are going to bump out 4 corners of the stadium into the parking lots and create, bigger concourses that are going to have, additional washrooms. We're going to have, concessions that are built into that, so we can, safely bring 35,000 people into the stadium and manage that accordingly. So, trying to improve the fan experience, within McMahon Stadium on the game day. We're going to build temporary suites in the north end, a big structure above what is now our Telus patio. And that is going to have 14 additional suites. We're going to have a standing room only spot as well. And then we will have more accessible seating in the northeast corner of McMahon Stadium. So we're doing a lot. And then the other piece is, just from a stadium infrastructure perspective, when you look at, our press box, there's not enough to hold enough press from across the country. So we've got to augment that. And there's from a broadcast perspective. So there's a lot of things that fans wouldn't see, but we do need to build out from a fundamental structure piece.
President of the Calgary Stampeders, Jay McNeil, joining us here on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. The stadium, okay, Don, we got that. Let's talk about the party, though, a little bit more and getting after it for that week. What can you tell us? Because, in Winnipeg, I think they did a great job, but then, there was limited seats and, team rooms were over here and all that. In Saski, we do have, I guess, the benefit of having everything almost under one roof. Not everybody has that. What can you tell us about how it's going to be set up for the team parties, the rooms, and then any concerts? Are you still in negotiation? Because I'm sure you guys are going to be doing that throughout the week as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think, just, from a concert perspective, that is one of the things that we talked about when we gave our presentation to the CFL, is, the Stampede has evolved into a music festival that takes over our entire city. And so we want to build upon that. What are the two things that bring people together? One is live entertainment and one is sports. And we want to bring that festival and add that element to the festival. So we're going to have concerts on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. It's all going to, and then the rest of the festival will all be held down on the Stampede grounds at the BMO Center. And so, all the team party rooms will be massive. In 2019, we started that trend of bringing all the team parties under one roof. And then the entire festival will be great there. We'll have an outdoor festival, we'll have an indoor festival, and then the Saddle Dome is also going to host a concert on Friday night. So we're going to have a much larger concert. We're going to have some 5,000 seat venues, and then we're going to have a concert of about 15,000 people at Saddle Dome on the Friday night. So it's going to be a pretty special festival.
Any hints? Any hints on that big shaker Friday night? Can you give us a genre?
Well, I think for the Friday night piece, we've talked about rock being the genre. So we're still working through every one of those concerts, and so I guess we'll see where we land. But that has been the initial conversation. And the other thing, that I forgot too, is in 2019 we did the first ever Grey Cup rodeo. And we are going to do that again on the Saturday. So we're really excited about that piece, working with the Stampede, to bring in, professional bull riders as a part of this, a part of the rodeo.
Wow. Yeah, that'll hit. That'll hit. Everybody likes going to a little rodeo.
And, it attracts Saski people, Saski football, because they like that sort of thing.
The whole thing. You got beer and then you got Clamato juice for those mornings. You're good. You're perfect. Before I let you go, I want you to talk about, too, because I coach it. We're big on the show here. It is really, really big in the province, especially in Regina. Flag football. You guys did something cool, too, with your flag football fields. What can you tell the Sportscage listeners about what you did there?
For sure. When you think about the Grey Cup, you think about a week in November, the festival and the game. But, one of the approaches I think that every team takes is, how do you have a lasting impact and have a legacy project that goes well beyond that week? And one of the things we working with our city with was, how do we grow the game of flag football? We're committed to it, as every CFL team is growing football, amateur football, whether it's flag or tackle. But in this case, we're taking an underutilized green space in southeast Calgary and turning it into the Calgary Stampeders community flag football fields and creating 3 flag football fields for youth. And that'll be a year-round, youth-driven community sport asset. So we're incredibly excited about that. Our Stampeders Foundation has got a $500,000 donation for that. And that is something that we are very proud of, and the city has been such a great partner on this and how we have a lasting legacy.
I was going to say, Barney, even as a Saski fan, born and raised as we are here in Saski, the best helmet in the CFL, in my opinion, no doubt about it, is Calgary's. Calgary's red helmet is number 1.
Really?
Well, I feel very privileged that you actually just said that, so thank you very much. We're pretty proud of our logo and our helmet and our color, so it's that means a lot coming from a Saski fan.
My favorite thing about the Stampeders organization, and it's actually I've never even been to McMahon Stadium for what I remember, is just the hanging speaker in the middle. Because so many small town Saski hockey rinks used to have that as well. Never get rid of that. Never.
Well, to be honest with you, 3 years ago, we did get rid of that.
Oh, no. See, I never made it.
Look, I hate to think we were going to end on a great note with the helmet comment, and then we had to go down, with the
go downhill from there. I was going to ask you, Jay, what do you think of the new commissioner so far? What's your opinion about the new commission, the rule changes?
Yeah, I think he's done a great job. He's really brought a fresh set of eyes to the league, to the teams, to the CFL office, and how do we look at things differently? How do we appeal to a younger audience? That's one of the things we talk about in the Stampeders organization is what are we going to do different? What's worked in the past is not working anymore, and I think Stu's done a great job of doing that. The rule changes, We are trying to, and I know you've heard it all before, we're trying to make the game more engaging to a wider audience. It's not about going to U.S. rules. We're maintaining, the strong Canadian elements to it, but trying to make, increase scoring, improve the game flow, and I like it. And time will tell, right? Is the data correct, and will we get to where we want it to be? That's
perfect. Jay, thanks so much for doing this. Obviously, super sad now about the speaker that I never made. Do you know where it is? Is it in a bar somewhere? Did somebody at least,
in a bar somewhere?
You know what? I tell you what. Come to McMahon Stadium and we'll make it up to you.
Hey, you might see me. I like this whole rodeo, rock concert rodeo 24-hour thing too.
I think I'm going to be to the preseason game. I think Mark Steven. I might visit Mark when the Riders are there for the preseason game.
There you go. Yeah,
that would be great.
I'm more planning November, I think, and then the weather could be anything. It's Calgary. That's what I love about it.
It really could be.
I love about it too. Right on, Jay.
I wish we could plan for it. No, go ahead.
Thanks so much for making some time today, hopping on. We always, whatever. You're always welcome here as well, and really looking forward to you guys putting on a good show next year.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on, and we are excited to host the country in November, so it's going to be great.
There he
They'll do
is.
a great job.
Yeah, for sure they will. President of the Calgary Stampeders, Jay McNeil. Yeah,
Calgary's a party town. It's the party town of Canada. There's no doubt about it.
Maybe a quarter of it is from Saskatchewan.
Of course
anyway.
it is. That's part of the reason it's a
I went on one pub crawl in my life. I think I told a story on the podcast. Maybe it's on the show. One pub crawl, a Stampede pub crawl, my younger days. I mean, it was like 8 or 9 buses. It was crazy. I was like, whoa. And, me and, the boys, fellas, we were in our 20s. We were a little bit rowdy. And we got into a little bit of a shouting match with some ladies, and they didn't like that we were smuggling on, different cocktails and all this. And then it got into it, and the lady was like, you guys, you just come here and you ruin it for us from Saskatchewan and from out of province. And then I said, you know what?
Harsh words.
I said, you're probably from Radisson anyway. And then her friend later says, actually, I think she was from Rosetown or somewhere originally. And I'm like, see, you're Sasky. But it's a great city. It's a party.
When you're from Saski and you go to Calgary, you've still got lots of friends there.
For sure.
There's no doubt about it.
There'll be a lot of green. Oh, the Riders in that game, though. Now we're talking. Good times.
We'll talk to Rob Vanstone soon about the parity in the CFL.
Yeah.
But it's the best professional sports league in North America for parity. We'll talk about that later, but anybody can be, again, in the Grey Cup game come November because the rules are so fair for every team. And we expect and hope that Saskatchewan's there, but, anybody can be there. And
maybe we'll look into the UFL. What kind of parity we're going to have in the UFL. Do you hear Glenn Suter yesterday going off of talking about the UFL? We'll have to talk to the rule.
That's amazing. That's still going.
The rule changes that they're coming out with in the UFL. Maybe we'll talk to Rob about that.
Desperate times.
We got a lot to talk about. Yeah. And the tailgating. I haven't talked about this yet. I love the idea. I love the tailgating. We'll be right back. It is the Sports Cage, streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
Regina Pats hockey.
Partial breakaway, right side stops. He scores!
Then at Dunlop Ford, Regina Pats hockey is back on your official voice of the Pats. 620 CKRM.
Tune into Puck Drop tonight at 7 when the Prince George Cougars take on the Regina Pats at the Brandt Center.
Game day tickets are available now from the Pats box office. Don't miss a minute of the action. Listen on air or online at 620CKRM.com. Regina Pats hockey.
Debt can take over your life. The stress, the constant worry, it can feel like you're drowning. When people come to see me, they're often anxious and feeling hopeless. But when I explain how I can help them get out of debt, those feelings melt away. I'm Jasmine Brown, a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Regina. I will create a personalized debt relief plan so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Winter driving is easy, unless you want to stop, or start, or turn a corner. On snow and ice, that takes the right tires. And the right tires are at Quality Tire. Winter tires give you the grip you need to brake faster, handle better, and stay in control when the roads don't cooperate. Don't leave your safety to all-season guesswork. Get ready for real winter driving at Quality Tire, trusted for the road ahead, with 9 locations across Saskatchewan.
QualityTire.ca. Why have just one when BOGO is better? Skip to the good part with buy one, get ones all month long in the Skip app. Buy one, get one free. Terms apply. Only on Skip.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. Switch to Reliance today and get $200 cash back with your new water heater. Some conditions apply. Call on Reliance.
It will be a playoff-like atmosphere again under the orange top today. The Regina Pats hosting the Prince George Cougars, 7 p.m. puck drop at the Brandt Center. If you can't make it, you can listen to it right here on 620 Caria. I'm starting with the pregame show at 6:30. Other Saskatchewan teams in the dub skating tonight. The Blades welcome the Penticton Vs. Moose Jaw is in Lethbridge. SJ Larange is at Yorkton, 7 p.m. Prairie Junior Hockey League playoffs in Pilot Butte. Moosomin is in town, 8 o'clock there. How about a little Junior C, Coppell Valley League? The Strasbourg Maroons are at the Regina River Rats, 8 p.m. That is game 1. And then the Balcarres Bronx are at the Lumsden Monarchs, 8:30, game 1 there. NHL's back. Canadian teams, Toronto's at Tampa Bay, Winnipeg, and Vancouver, Edmonton in Anaheim. That is your sports ticker in hour 1 for Reliance Heath. Switch now, $200 back in your water heater. Call on Reliance. Okay, we didn't want to bury the lead, but we were talking about this earlier. There's some news going down. And I know all of you out there aren't from Regina. We get text messages from all over the province. But in downtown Regina, Coulson, do you have a breaking news splitter for us?
I've been trying to find one, but I don't have one yet.
Okay. What is the big news coming to downtown Regina? If you even come in here to shop or to frolic, gather, whatever, you will want to know this news.
Effective March 1st, that is this Sunday, no more coins for downtown parking. Only pay by phone or by card, electronically, as it would be called.
That really sucks for some of the elderly people. Like my mom in Saskatoon, when she goes downtown, it's cash, money, dollar bills, coins only. That's tough for some people. The phone thing, the card thing. Am I wrong?
No, for older people, you're not wrong.
Or people that are maybe just not tech savvy, don't have a card, bad credit. I don't know.
The article I'm reading says there will be 3 methods to pay: by the smartphone app, at paybyphone.com,
or copper,
or by calling 1-888-680-7275. That's the part that I find the funniest about this, is we're getting rid of the coins, but you can still call a number to pay.
See how my brain works? Well, now, anytime I'm going to park downtown, I'm just going to call. Because I'm like, if you're going to inconvenience me, I'm going to inconvenience you.
You know, I guess one of the good parts about it is that I've noticed this with a lot of elderly people is they're quite adept, or more so than they realize, at change. When they do have to make a change in a technical way or to the technical world, they surprise themselves quite often, as a general comment, about how well they can do and how well they can change it, things like that, because it's not as hard as they sort of build up maybe in their own minds. So I'm talking about your mother, of course. She's, a few minutes with her son Barney and explaining an app.
Hell no.
And something on a phone, and she'll be doing it, Barney.
Nope. Bought her an iPad 2 years ago, used it for a bit, now can't remember the password. I'm like, why don't you ever use that? I don't want it anymore. So my daughter basically got a brand new iPad a couple weeks ago. I'm like, oh, Baba doesn't want it. Go nuts. No, but one of the dumbest things I find, and I get why cities do it, and they have to do it, with how downtowns are nowadays, why are we charging to park?
No,
like, they should just be, they should be paying people to come down to downtowns in all cities these days. But we can
I think it's a great comment. It's sort of like the Atlanta Falcons and the NFL have really cheap concessions and they make more money from concessions than other NFL teams because of the volume.
Then they have Chick-fil-A's.
So you get volume downtown, you get more stores, you get more shops, and you don't pay for parking, and things like that can happen.
They have Chick-fil-A's, and the one thing about Chick-fil-A, because I know my family loves a good Chick-fil-A, not open on Sundays anywhere. And they have them in the stadium in Atlanta. Yeah, so tough.
And that's because of the
tough
ownership?
number to make. No, because that it's a day of rest. Chick-fil-A goes on.
But
that.
I mean, that's the owner of the Chick-fil-A.
I probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that decision would come from the top.
That's very unusual in today's business world. A man would stick up with ethics like that.
We are an hour in, hour 2. Rob Vanstone coming into the studio. The three of us are going to chat. It'll be a fun hour to spend, and then after that, Benny Hebert still on the Senior Hockey Report. It is a Sportscage news coming up. We'll be right back.
This is 620 CKRM, a Harvard media station. Available everywhere in high-res audio with the CKRM app.
It's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Tanner Wallace-Scribner from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with 620 CKRM News for Bronco Plumbing and Heating. Where professional service is guaranteed, they'll treat you right. 781-2090. Premier Scott Moe says Saskatchewan will run a deficit in next month's provincial budget, pointing to global conflicts, trade issues, and uncertain economic conditions. Speaking to the North Saskatoon Business Association, Moe said revenue challenges are affecting many provinces and noticed British Columbia's recent $13 billion deficit. He promised Saskatchewan's shortfall will be much smaller and said taxes and services will not be cut. Moe also highlighted job growth and investment in the province, saying Saskatchewan's economy remains strong because of its diversity.
So we have a diversity of products and a diversity of markets as well relative to other provinces. So I would say that our economy on the revenue line, from a revenue perspective, is as resilient or more resilient than most other provinces.
Details of the deficit will be released when the budget is tabled on March 18th. And Premier Moe is not expecting Canada to make a trade deal with India ahead of his trip to the country with Prime Minister Mark Carney. Moe says he hopes the meetings this week will reinvigorate both countries to move towards establishing a future economic partnership.
So we have a diversity of products and a diversity of markets as well relative to other provinces. So I would say that our economy on the revenue line, from a revenue perspective, is as resilient or more resilient than most other provinces.
The Premier says he currently has concerns that India might raise tariffs on lentils due to domestic issues in that country, and he hopes talks can prevent that from happening. Starting March 1st, all paid on-street parking in downtown Regina will move to pay by phone as the only payment option. The city says coins will no longer be accepted and meters will be covered with instructions to prevent coin use. Drivers must still pay for parking and follow posted time limits. Payments can be made through the Pay by Phone app, online, or by phone using credit, debit, or digital wallets. The change was approved in the city's 2026-27 budget. The government of Saskatchewan has signed a new trade agreement with a Brazilian state. The MOU aims to grow trade and investment between the two regions, focusing on agriculture, mining, education, and technology. The signing took place during Saskatchewan's trade mission to Brazil. Brazil is Saskatchewan's fourth largest export market. Exports reached $1.1 billion in 2024 and $1.3 billion in the first 9 months of 2025, mainly in potash. That's 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620CKRM.com.
Winter's coming. Is your home ready? At Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, they install high-efficiency brine furnaces that keep your family cozy while saving energy and money. Their professional team takes care of everything, from installation to long-term service, so your home stays warm for years to come. Call 781-2090 or visit broncoplumbing.com today. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, and Bryant, whatever it takes.
Brought to you by Next Gen Coatings. Spray coatings for truck bed liners, rocker panels, and more. Same company, new name. 1865 McCarra Street in Regina. Tonight, partly cloudy sky and a low down to -3. Tomorrow, looking partly to mostly sunny and a high of 4 degrees. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy. Some isolated showers and sprinkles in the area. Low down to -4. Friday, partly sunny. Getting colder again, falling to -13. Saturday, partly sunny and a high of -15. And then Sunday, partly to mostly sunny and a high of -6. Currently, in downtown Regina, we have sunny sky. Sun's staying up longer now. It is -4.
For 40 years, the team from Line-X Regina has been protecting vehicles across Saskatchewan, and we're changing with the times. 3 generations of our family have protected your vehicles. Our business has evolved, and we're not stopping now. The next generation is here. Same family, same commitment, ready for the next generation of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards in all kinds of colors. Line-X Regina, 1865 McCarra Street, the next generation of protective coatings.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Regina Motor Products. RMP Winter Tires and Cost event on now until March 31st when you purchase a set of 4 tires. Visit RMP online or in person today. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Welcome back for Regina Motor Products. On this Wednesday, Barney Shinkaruk, Colson's here, Don Hewitt co-hosting, and we got another in the pit, in the cage studio now. Rob Vanstone, historian from the Saskatchewan Roughriders, is joining us, made his way down. I just thought it'd be a nice get-together. The 3 of us, the 4 of us.
With Don and I, it's like, I think we're the 2 oldest radio guests in North America right now.
You know, Rob,
average age, look that up, Colson.
Rob likes me to hang around with him when it's possible, because when I'm there, Rob is the young guy.
Yeah.
He's the young pup. I remember him in high school on a bus with his mom.
Yeah, we used to go to Rider Road games via Dash Tours, and
that's right.
So I remember I met Don in October of 1977. Went to Calgary, and the Riders lost 11-1. My first visit to McMahon Stadium. I heard Jay McNeil earlier in the show talking about McMahon Stadium, and I thought, not much different than it was in October 1977 when the Riders got the Rouge.
He talked about how it was built pretty quick back then. Like, was it
Lego projects that took more time to build than the McMahon Stadium?
But was it nice? Was it kind of at its time? Was it an awesome stadium?
It's funny. When the Riders were in Calgary for a game October 13th of 2023, and I was with the team, and I went for walk around the field level before the games. We get to the game so early as a team, and I started looking back to that infamous October 77 game. And I remember as soon as we got to McMahon Stadium for that 77 game, I thought a couple of things. Artificial turf, didn't see it very often. I'd only seen it once before in my life at the 76 Grey Cup. Artificial turf, it looked so weird to see that. Mm-hmm. And I was so old, the game it was actually played in black and white in front of us. And and there were no backs on the seats. We were sitting about the 10 or 20 yard line, and there's no backs on the seats.
I don't know if they're still.
And so
like
October 2023, I'm walking around McMahon Stadium, I kind of had a rough idea where we sat. And I looked, and there were still no backs on the seats.
Yeah.
What?
46 years later. Yeah. That part of the stadium is sort of toward like the 10 yard line, right?
It's like a college section at a college hockey game. It's you're just sitting. That's where, and I think it was the stadium in Berkeley where Cal plays. My wife, he was a trooper. She was like 4 months prego. And we got to go Oregon Ducks, Cal, take the train, get to the stadium. Little did I know, never been to Berkeley, California. It is a hoof uphill to this stadium. She's like, this is, you're asking a lot here from me. 4 months pregnant, going to this football game. So we get into the stadium, and it's the metal bench, just like a park, and then I see everybody's renting the
clip-on back things.
Oh.
I'll be right back. I need to go get... And then they were all sold out. I think somehow I finagled one for her. I'm like, I'm toughing it out.
That 77 game that I was at, playing cornerback and returning punts and kickoffs for Roughriders, was Paul Williams, who was from Berkeley, California. We lived in Berkeley, California during the off seasons at the time.
And, ironically,
loved Paul Williams.
About 20 years ago, he called me at CTV. It's a long story where we did have film footage of him. I won't explain why.
Doing his dance?
Yes.
He did the great dance.
He was
Williams
the first
Wiggle.
one that I ever saw, Rob, do a touchdown dance. I mean, he had Paul Williams, I believe, was the first ever football player to do a dance after a touchdown, at least professionally. And then Tommy Riemann, if you want to go to Tommy Riemann, and sadly they've both passed away, he was the first football player in all of pro ball to wear a ball cap on the sidelines.
Yeah, and Tommy,
which he did in Winnipeg. It just wasn't done.
Yeah.
Nobody wore a ball cap, Barney, on the sidelines. Tommy Riemann did it, I believe, in Winnipeg. Everyone was shocked.
Yeah, it was like
shocked.
He was known as Tommy the Hat Riemann. It was his debut with the Riders. He rushed for like 100 and some yards. The Riders were in Winnipeg, September 11th, 77.
Right.
And then the week after, Hamilton was in town, and Tommy Riemann rushed for 100 and some yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 61-yarder. And everybody was all excited about Tommy Riemann. Then the Riders went to Calgary, and that day didn't work out well for anybody.
Well, but
it was a cool trip because I met Don Hewitt, and Dave Ash, and Jim McKenzie, and
you guys got to push that to the marketing team to get a Tommy Riemann hat in the pro shop.
It was crazy that was such a weird thing and insane that somebody would do but nowadays. But the one thing I remember about when I met Rob in 1977 was how nice your mom was.
Yes, she was very nice, despite
the nicest woman
having to put up with me for 13 years at that point.
You were 13 at the time.
Yeah, no,
your
my
mother
mom
was just
beautiful.
a wonderful, wonderful woman.
We'll talk about a trip down memory lane.
Sorry for destroying your show, Barney. I mentioned
we're not even on.
Barney's still the host. I'm not. So Barney's the host. I'm not.
Were you alive in 1977, Barney?
July 2nd. July 2nd, 1977.
Right before the loss to Winnipeg.
He was like what, a month old or something when they went
yeah.
I was negative
lost to
20
Winnipeg,
for all
lost to
wondering.
BC, and Gaynor, the Gophers' debut was against BC in July of 1977, and you were in the costume, weren't you? You and Dave Ash that day?
I was in the costume, but you know what? Your memory has always been so much better than mine.
Better than anyone's.
I didn't even remember that it was BC till you just said it.
Yeah, it was 34-14 for Saskatchewan.
See?
The man is a genius.
But then the Riders went to BC the next week and won. We'll figure that out.
Yes.
While we have you guys here, and I know people have mentioned have texted in on this before, but let's talk about this. First to you, Don, your favorite memory of the late Dave Ash.
Oh my goodness. I'm glad Don's going first because there's so many I could blast out.
My favorite memory of Dave Ash.
Well, you guys are thinking, I'll tell, because I had to work with him on the sales side here. It was Dash Tours, and it was a great, the deal we had. Once I kind of got to know him, 3, 4, 5 years in, and you become friends with Dave. Like you just do, right? That's the kind of guy he is. And then anytime he had some extra tickets, or hey, Barney, why don't you come? So when we went to the Grey Cup in Toronto, I was a last-minute addition from the Harvard crew that went there. Downtown, Sheraton, and then Dave messages me. This is probably Blackberries. And he's like, hey, you're in town. Remember, I have my sold-out Grey Cup party at the top of the CN Tower. You're more than welcome to come. And I'm like, well, I've never been to the CN. I was thinking about maybe going to the CN Tower. Have never been. We go up. Dave Ash had this spread, and the Rider fan party. It was next level. It was so cool. It was so awesome. So that is my personal one. The other one is him with that Canada flag and then Sidney Crosby getting it somehow and going on the ice in Vancouver. Okay, so now I give you some time to think of yours.
I was invited to a function in the top of the CN Tower. I thought it was really nice and flattering. They took me up here and there and they said, why don't you try the diving board? So I'm sorry, there's another hour of these jokes.
Well, I used to live with Dave Ash. along with Wayne Mantica, the CTV
What a posse.
news reporter.
What a
The three of
legendary
us
domicile that was.
used to live together, and we were, all three of us called our condo that we lived in the monastery, because there was never a woman to be seen with the three of us. We were all losers with women at the time. Couldn't get a date, none of us. And we were just like monks. We might as well have been Trappist monks.
Played cards?
Well, I don't even know if we did anything that exciting.
Did you at least buy a female hamster or something?
It was a sad situation. The monastery, Antica, Hewitt, Nash. Yeah, it was a sad.
Over to you. You probably have a book full.
There's so many. My dad died June 1st, 82, and that year Dave founded the Fabulous 50 fan club, and a group of 50 fans would go on the Riders plane to every road game, and because there really wasn't much sense taking a plane to a home game. Nice articulation, Rob. And and so the Riders' final regular season game that year, or regular season road game that year, was in Toronto. And Dave phoned Mom and asked if she'd like to go on the trip, and she explained, well, Alan died and we're kind of short of money, and Dave said, no, it's my treat, and flew Mom to Toronto for the game free of charge. And the next year, Dash Tours did a concert trip. I think it was to Edmonton for Neil Diamond. Phone rings, Dave Ash.
Yeah.
Free trip to Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
So those are the fond memories. Don and I were on this trip.
Really
October 29th,
amazing,
1978. The Riders went to Edmonton. Ron Lancaster's last game won 36-26.
Remember that.
And we were there via Dash Tours. And that was like my favorite game of all games I've ever watched to be at.
And that was so historic.
That was
now that we look at
perfect.
it. And I remember Dave Ash had that little tinfoil Grey Cup. Remember that?
Yep.
And I was holding this tinfoil Grey Cup outside of the bus as everybody was going on it. I don't know if you remember this. And I got sucker punched by some Eskimo fan. And went all the way home in Regina holding my nose.
That game, for the uninitiated, I mean, Ronnie...
To the monastery?
Yeah. I went to the monastery with a very bloody nose.
Ronnie didn't start that game. Larry Dick was the heir apparent at quarterback, and Walt Pozadowski, who was head coach at the time, started Larry Dick to just get him some snaps. But it was Ronnie's last regular season game, and it was a packed Commonwealth Stadium, and there were signs that Edmonton fans took to the game thanking Ronnie.
Edmonton fans.
Edmonton fans. And they started chanting, "We want Ronnie." And of course, there was a pocket of us in the end zone seats joining in or perhaps initiating it. But it was the Edmonton fans, by and large, who were clamoring to see Ronnie.
Wasn't
so Ronnie
that crazy?
comes off the bench.
That was amazing.
And throws a touchdown pass to Joey Walters. Bob McAreedy adds the convert. Edmonton fumbles. Jim Germany fumbles. Ronnie comes back on. Completion of Brian O'Hara, and then sneaks in for the winning touch for an insurance touchdown himself. His last game, and it's in Edmonton, and he's getting a standing ovation from the home fans who just watched their team lose.
Packed.
That will never happen again in sports.
Yeah.
And Walt Pozadowski not starting Ronnie in his last game.
Yeah, or the week
that was a head scratcher.
Beforehand, Winnipeg was here, and Larry Dick had started that game as well. They just thought, okay, Ronnie's retiring. They've signed this highly touted rookie out of Maryland named Larry Dick. Let's see him play. And there really wasn't much objection at the time. But the way it turned out with Ronnie coming off the bench, it was just magic. It was I just can't imagine an sporting event having that much in it.
Yeah. And in that game, I mean, to see it live especially, Ronnie couldn't have thrown the ball better.
Oh.
I mean, pinpoint accuracy. Like, he was not going to go out losing a football game.
No.
And he certainly didn't.
And as he came onto the field, Larry Highbaugh, who was an Eskimo cornerback at the time, shook hands with him. While Ronnie was on his way to the huddle, and after the game, somebody asked Ronnie about it and said, well, he should have shook my hand. With all the interceptions I've thrown to him, he's going to the Hall of Fame. Sure enough, he made it.
He was one of the funniest people, wasn't he?
That trip. And I remember the next year we went to Montreal via Dash Tours for the Grey Cup, and Don was on that trip. And the first time I ever saw the Montreal Canadiens play, Mom and I and Dave Ash walked toward the Montreal Forum, and standing outside the Montreal Forum before the game, George Reed. And then we walk in and see the Habs beat the Bruins 3-1.
Can you believe this memory?
What a trip that was.
Unreal.
And an encyclopedia. And I just want to give Rob a shout out if I can. The outstanding job he does writing for the Roughrider organization. I mean, there's not a professional football team in North America that covers the history and the detail of their franchise like the Roughriders do, with Rob being a huge part of that. And Craig Reynolds had an epiphany of brilliance the day he hired Rob Vanstone to do the job that you do.
Did you have to interview?
Yeah. I sent Craig an email, and we had coffee, and then I had a formal interview with Ariel Zur and Anthony Partapillo. Ariel's the director of communications. Anthony was the chief brand officer, and it was basically the moment I had a bunch of things written down I wanted to ask about, and I never even got to them because they brought them all up in the conversation. It just felt perfect.
Yeah.
And I felt like after the interview, Ariel just looked at me and smiled. I was in a daze.
Under 20 stories that you told in that interview.
It didn't even feel like an interview. We just kind of sat back and chatted, and before you know it, it was over, and they were thinking, don't hire this guy.
Okay.
You were made.
But I work cheap.
You were made for this job that you have right now.
I would concur on that.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Well, somebody once told me, said, Rob, you're the best writer in the country.
Yes.
And I said, well, thank you. And they said, unfortunately, you're not very good in the city.
Jeez. Here it is.
I was sitting on that one.
Slapstick comedy at its best here, 421 on a Wednesday afternoon. Rob Vanstone, Don Hewitt. We'll take a quick break. We're going to come back. We are going to talk about tailgating. It's coming to Saskatchewan, 936-6262. If you have any thoughts, are you going into the lottery? Let us know on the Prairie Land Rentals text line. It is a Sportscage streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
Listen weekdays at noon for Saskatchewan Today on CKRM with your host, Ryan Young, offering the most extensive agricultural news coverage with precision weather meteorologists in an industry that moves fast. Stay updated with the latest, most reliable information in ag news, crisis and trends, all in one place. Available anytime at saskagtoday.com. Saskatchewan Today, your trusted source for all things agriculture. Sponsored by Affinity Credit Union on 620 CKRM.
What's going on in the markets? When is the right time to invest? What should you do with your money today? When Linda had questions, she talked to Brian Golly.
He's always well prepared and has answers for us. We take it as gospel, and he's led us down the right path so far.
Don't guess with your money this RRSP season. Call Brian Golly at Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533.
We would recommend Brian anytime, and we would recommend him to anybody.
The auction calendar is stacked at Ritchie Brothers, and an exciting Regina Unreserved auction is happening March 24th. Visit the Ritchie Brothers website or Regina location to view a wide variety of used equipment from top brand manufacturers. You won't want to miss this great opportunity. Head to rbauction.com/Regina to sign up and be ready for the auction. Again, that's rbauction.com/Regina.
10 at 12.5.
Don't miss a minute of Sportscage. Podcasts are posted at sportscage.com. 620 CKRM.
Welcome back on Wednesday for Regina Motor Products. They got the winter tire sale on until March 31st. Even if it's for next year, you can get winter tires at cost at Regina Motor Products. Prairie Land Rentals text line 936-6262. In studio, joining us, Rob Vanstone, and I got Don Hewitt here. Now, we've been reminiscing, fellas, about a number of things, learning a lot of different sucker punches and places and roommates and all that, but tailgating is coming to Saskatchewan. I've been one of the, I guess, shout from the rooftops on why don't we have this? Like, it just makes no sense. And then the government is the reason, and there's still a lot of legalities and legislations and whatnot that have to go through with Saskatchewan liquor and gaming. First off, do you guys remember, because you're going back to the 70s and 77, do you remember ever tailgating in Saskatchewan way back when, of any kind?
I remember Mom lighting a cigarette in the car while we waited for traffic to disperse.
They used to have. I mean, they still do. I guess this is different. There's sort of a team run events and still going on. That is sort of like a semi tailgating, but I like this version of it much better in the sense that it gives tailgaters their own freedoms to tailgate as they see fit. They can bring their own barbecues, make their own food, bring their own tubs of beer, whatever they want to do. They can do their thing, whatever their thing is. And we'll see lots of creativity, lots of different things.
For sure.
And some really good food, which is great. I mean, and then everybody can sort of, there's no, fences or anything. People can walk up, talk to people tailgating, have great times gabbing away and chatting.
I can't wait to see, because I'm predicting that this has been such a long time coming. And there are so many creative / passionate Rider fans that have been waiting for this. Maybe they've been kind of doing it in their backyards or wherever else. Now they can do it there. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people out there listening, you've been to college games, you've been to NFL games, maybe it's other CFL games where there is tailgating. And then, there are a lot of people that love to take it to another level. But it is such a welcoming, hospitable, for the most part, event. And then I saw the price. And for $500 for the year, I'm like, well, that is dirt cheap. I don't even know what a parking spot nowadays at most stadiums is.
And you get two of them.
You get
two of them.
You
right?
get something to park, and then you have your area to tailgate. There will only be so many, from what I understand. You're in the office, do you know, and I suspect they're looking at it being outside of Mosaic. They're kind of is that south of the Brandt Center? Is that where we're thinking?
I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
Here I am providing invaluable information. I'm not even certain exactly where it will be.
Yeah, okay.
I haven't really dug into that from a story standpoint yet. It's going to be an appetizing story as it progresses. I mean, there'll be days I'll have a story written before the game, because I think the tailgating itself will be just a wonderful experience for people. I've dabbled in it a bit before a Green Bay Packer game. John Ryan's first game in the NFL. Mm-hmm. I covered that for the Regina Leader Post, and the tailgating was Jason Nicurity and I went and had a wonderful time and ate 98 bratwursts. I had 97 of them, and we were actually kind of, do we have to go to the game? Like the tailgating was so much fun, and then we went to the game and the Packers lost 29-0, and I just wish we could have kept tailgating.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. I went to a game at the University of Montana in 2015, and the tailgating there was just ridiculous. Even last year in Winnipeg before the Labor Day rematch, and that was a ton of fun. They have sort of an unofficial tailgate section there, and that was a gas. I can't imagine what it's going to be like here.
Mm-hmm. I know I talked to a few friends down south, and one's a Arizona Cardinals season ticket holder, and he said that's roughly what he thinks he pays. It's attached to his season tickets, but he is a ways from the stadium where his lot and his tailgate is, and I've been there. As you get closer, it's quite a bit more expensive. Been to Foxborough, really spread out at Gillette. And it's really less regulated down there. I think Dallas, outside Cowboy Stadium, was what, mind you, the weather was nice out there, but there was some interesting and the trailers with the backs that open up and the RVs and that. I'm really curious to see what we get here. So I'm thinking it's just a parking spot and another parking spot. So enough room. And I'm sure there's going to be some sort of regulations on sizes of vehicles. That's all coming down the pike. But it is such a, like I said, a hospitable thing where you're going to be, hey, come by my tailgate. Come by my tailgate. Absolutely. There's going to be guys and girls that bring people to come by. And then if it's a chance, like, when you get people that like to cook for other people, like my wife loves to cook for other people,
That's what I find tailgating is all about, is people that love hosting other people. And you talk about the bratwurst. Yes. I'm thinking we're going to see some pretty cool, I don't know if the deep fryers, the smokers, the barbecues.
And that's Saskatchewan culture too, because if you go down to a place like, say, Oklahoma, they have these giant sort of barbecue contests, competitions, I guess. And I remember doing some work with CJ Katz back in some cooking show days at CTV and in Texas as well. And it was surprising how many people from Saskatchewan with these big trucks and these giant barbecues and smokers and cookers and whatnot went down to compete down to the U.S. It's really sort of, if you go right down the center of the continent, barbecue is in Saskatchewan's culture too. It's a lot of people maybe don't realize that, but we're barbecuers here, darn it.
Well, now I'm hungry.
What are you looking forward to? Like you say, I'm sure you're going to write some pieces about it. You're going to be out there mingling. What are you looking forward to seeing?
The characters.
Yeah,
just a story. You think you've seen? I mean, I've been following the team since the early '70s and early 1870s, and you think you've written every rider angle that there is to write, but I'm almost 62 years old. I've never written about rider tailgating. I think that is going to be so cool that first time, and there's no precedent for it. We don't know what it's going to be like. I remember just being wowed by it in Green Bay almost 20 years ago. What's it going to look like here?
Well, what's Pinto Bill? He's in Buffalo. Is it Pinto Bill? He's the famous guy that stands up and then crashes through a bunch of tables before Bills games.
Well,
I think his name's Pinto Bill.
I thought that was you and your Friday night parties at your house.
Not at the monastery. Nothing was happening there. But I mean, you're exactly right. Like, who will be the characters that will evolve out of this?
You'll Hewitt.
No.
Polish up your 73 El Camino. Get your spot. And you can be the convivial host of
Al Camino.
Well, we were talking about the aging process earlier. I'll be an observer now. But
get a couple of lawn chairs for Dawn and I. We'll see what Barney's doing.
Well, I look forward to the characters like you talked about that you'll probably write about.
And there's some guys, some families, or some guys and girls, they're going to roll in. I can see it. The big barbecues that you tow behind a vehicle, and they're going to set up. And then, the next door neighbor maybe is going to have the TV, and then they're going to, converse and be like, okay, well, next week I'll bring this, I'll bring that. And then the different cocktail. Full disclosure, right, it was bad. September, right after things opened up again, I took my son after COVID to get season opener in Foxborough. It was great, and we tailgated. And it's like, okay, whatever. I remember getting a cocktail made, and then I'm already a few deep, but he's having fun. He's playing beer pong. He's not drinking. He's like 11. But we're having a great father-son trip. I've had a cup, and then I start drinking, and I'm like, I think that guy just made the drink and grabbed the ice with his hands. Because we were always very cautious for those 2 years.
That was cold.
And I'm like, yeah, that's what I mean. And I'm like, okay. Anyway, we let it slide. We let it go. We got our test when we got there. So then we got to come back across the border. We were all good. Well, we get home, and I am very tired.
Oh, no.
I am exhausted. So the missus makes me take a COVID test. So the boy and I are back. This is when you still had to stay in home for a month if you had it, or whatever crazy rule that was. I take this test. I'm passed out. She goes, looks at it. It was the loudest door slam I've ever heard. Roman thought he had a month off. He had his Xbox, and he was good. But it all stemmed around, I think, the tailgating and me being an irresponsible parent / tailgater.
It was your fault the guy used his hand for your ice.
It was just so second nature, and then I remember drinking it and going, I'm like, what are the odds? It's not, come on. It could have been from anywhere too, but the subways, the basketball game, the hockey game, who knows? But yeah, that tailgate, that will be the memory, tailgating for me and my son in my brain.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be
exclusive. And I know some people were talking about the lottery and then pay. Well, it's a lot like when you have a concert that rolls into town or a major sporting event. There's usually some sort of, like the World Juniors, they're doing it in Alberta this year. It's the ticket lottery. And then you get picked, and then you get to buy tickets. It's nothing new for us. I know some people are like, why are they calling it a lottery if they got to pay? Well, that's usually how things work with us. It's going to be super exclusive, and it's for season ticket members only. I think that's the best way to go about it, early. And we're going to have people, because it's so selective, the next year there should be more of a spin-off. Or what do you think? How do you think it's going to work in Saski?
I look at the Labor Day Classic, and what the Labor Day Classic is the Roughriders are in our culture here, obviously, part of our culture. It's a gathering place for families. Sometimes, I know individuals, they'll say, well, I see my kids twice a year who live in BC or the U.S. or whoever, Ontario, wherever they're from. I see them twice a year, Labor Day Classic and Christmas. So the tailgating is all part of a gathering place, which, we go to as Saskies and enjoy each other's company. It's more than a football game, don't you think, Rob?
Yeah, and I go back to last year in Winnipeg. Amelie, Ariel's communications assistant with the Roughriders, and I are walking toward the tailgating near the stadium, and this golf cart comes up, a couple of people dressed in predominantly Bomber colors, and we were advised the Bomber team store is back there if you want a reverse course, and there's also a jersey exchange program, and those words were uttered to us very jokingly by Wade Miller, president and CEO of the Bombers. We had an absolute roar. That was just so funny. He was just so good-natured and about it. It just added to the day. And then we had then I met a bunch of cool people, many of whom were Saskatchewan expatriates before the game. And then the Riders won 21-13.
No, it's gonna
bonus.
It's gonna be. Hey, I know a guy. He's got a tailgate. Let's go to my buddy's tailgate, and it's gonna be pretty special. Luke on the text line here, Tony on the text line here is looking forward to it as well. Let's go to break. Come back. Clutch Performer. I want to talk some hockey with you guys as well when we come back. It is a Sports Cage on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM.
To celebrate CKRM's 100th anniversary, we're honoring the icons who helped shape this station into what it is today. Our next 620 CKRM icon inductee, Lorne Harrison. Here's a behind the mic moment with Lorne Harrison.
I knew what I wanted to do for a living when I was in the 5th grade. And anytime I went to a city where there were radio stations, I would go to watch the guys work. And I'd sent out tapes and so on and had no's for answers all along. And my mother had a medical appointment in Yorkton, and I drove her in, and I parked exactly in front of the door of the radio station. And I said, damn it, I'm going to give it one more trial. So I went up and, as it turned out, ran into Merv Phillips, who was the program director, and he put me in front of a microphone. And I said to myself, read that newscast fearlessly, which I did. And he said to me, would you come back around 2 o'clock? So I said, sure. Went back at 2. He took me into the manager's office. Jack Shortreed was the manager at that time. We'll hire you. You'll be a runner for us. The exhibition is at the middle of the month. For the handsome sum of $135 a month. I thought I had died and gone to heaven.
To hear the full extended interview, visit our 100th year page at 620ckrm.com or sastoday.ca.
The Early Bird Spring Sale is on now at Extreme Hockey and Sport. The entire store is 15 to 25% off. Brands like Yeti, CCM, Bauer, all clothing and apparel. If it's in stock, it's on sale, and it must go to make room for new product. All purchases in February qualify for a custom Yeti summer package valued at $5,000. Locally owned, community-focused Extreme Hockey and Sport. 1425 McIntyre Street, conveniently located at the Cooperator Center and online at extremehockey.net.
Winter in Saskatchewan tests everything, our patience, vehicles, and sometimes our bumpers. From icy parking lot dings to serious highway mishaps, choosing local matters. At Regina Motor Products Collision Center, we're Saskatchewan owned, run, and we drive these roads too. An SGI accredited full-service collision center working on all makes and models. Submit your SGI claim and book your appraisal. It's easy. When you need repairs you can trust, it's neighbors helping neighbors. Regina Motor Products Collision Center, south at Highways 1 and 6 Albert Street. rmpchevrolet.com.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. Don't just hang a door, install a Steelcraft. Turn curb appeal into curb envy.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
Steel-craft.ca.
The Sports Cage Clutch Performer, brought to you by Kellen Solar. 35 years of experience, moving water from a dugout or well without electricity. Visit kellensolar.com to find out more about your livestock operation.
All right, Clutch Performer. He didn't get to play in the gold medal game, unfortunately. Sidney Crosby released today. He's out, lower body injury. And then he spoke to the media about Gudas, and I think part of it is if he thinks he's going to get a call from him. What a guy, what a class act. Here's Sidney Crosby.
Did you hear from Gudas at all after the injury?
I didn't know. I mean, I don't have a problem with the play. I think he was trying to be physical and step up and play hard as any defenseman would, and it just went the wrong way as far as, on my end of it. But I don't think he should feel the need to reach out or anything like that. It's hockey and that stuff happens, and unfortunately it's one of those.
The one thing you said when we played that earlier, Don, was class act.
Oh, of course, Sidney Crosby is. I wonder, had that injury not occurred, had Sidney been playing in the gold medal game, would Canada have won that game? And it was so close, and if there was a little edge that maybe could have tipped that game's balance over to the gold medal, winning it in regulation, it could have been Sidney Crosby. And the reason I say that is multi-reasons. One, though, is his hand-eye and coordination is so good, and that ice surface was small for those players. First 3 feet shorter. They were so condensed, and he's the type of guy that can do these really quick little things with the puck so well. How about you, Rob? Would they have won the gold medal if Crosby was playing?
Josh Morrissey, too, the Jets fan.
Right. No, they missed him.
But, I mean, it balances out. I mean, Quinn Hughes didn't play in the Four Nations Cup and things like that. I mean, I wrote about it on Riderville.com on Monday. Sometimes that's what you sign up for as a sports fan. And sometimes... I'm going to play spoiler here. If anybody hasn't seen Rocky 1 and wants to see Rocky 1, plug your ears now. What made Rocky 1 such a great movie, aside from the fact that it was a great movie? Rocky didn't win. And you go to a movie most of the time, you kind of know that somehow the chances are the plot is going to end up with the outcome you were hoping for. But I thought Rocky 1 was really good because it didn't necessarily turn out that way.
Was it a draw?
It was he lost, and then he bought in the next 48 Rocky fights he won. But
no, I'm trying to remember now.
He lost
to Apollo.
Yeah,
and then he gives him another.
Formerly Carl Weathers of the BC Lions.
That's right.
Then he gives him another shot in Rocky 2,
3, 4, 5, 48, 49, 63. But I remember just being so shocked that Rocky didn't win. I went to the Capitol Theater downtown Regina, and I expected this outcome because that's how Hollywood is. That most of the time you're going to get the happy ending. Sports doesn't always give you the happy ending, and it's tough on days like Saturday. But you know what if Canada wins in 2030, it's going to feel even better because we remember how we felt in 2026. Riders won a Grey Cup in 2013. We remember how we felt in 2009. Because you go through those tough ones, when you do win, all that experience makes it even better.
Oh, it does.
At the time.
For sure.
And so that's how I kind of look. There's no guarantees with sports. You don't necessarily get that fairy tale ending every time. But that adds to the tension, that adds to the intrigue, it adds to the excitement when it does turn out that way. So, boy, it was tough on Sunday, but as I think about it,
very tough.
Such a good game.
That's part of what we love about sports.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
So I say this to you because I talked about this yesterday too, and I think that, you know, Sydney probably helps or whatever, but we were so deep. Like so were the Americans. We had such a good team. That game that we lose, the gold medal game, that's probably our best game of the tournament.
Oh.
And we lose.
I mean, against Czechia, against Finland, they didn't play half as well as they did in the gold medal game, right?
Like, that's what I go back to. And I'm like, so then we go back to, you know, if that doesn't happen and Sydney plays, you know, there's so many different things that if that doesn't happen, does Czechia maybe somehow get a bounce and things change that way? We still played good. We were still very, very, we come out of the gate with that first game. And I was like, see, I told you, like, no one's going to touch us. Like, this team's too good. And I'm not the big rah-rah. You know, I was just like, how are you going to match up any kind of line against 4? Like Nick Suzuki. And I was, the one game where he tips it in, a little bit of Nostradamus, said to my son, or my daughter, I was like, that Suzuki's going to do something. He just kind of, and then, like, that was a major league tip and how it happened. We were so deep and so good. But then we ran in to your Winnipeg Jets guy.
Yeah. He's now getting their presidential medal of freedom.
And when you think about it, though, like, he's had honor. He played good in the Four Nations, Hellebuck, but he's had a rough ride in getting it done when it matters.
Well, the last 3 playoffs, his save percentage has been below 900. He had a couple of shutouts in the playoffs last year too, but sometimes you just get that guy on that game, and he's a multiple Vezina Trophy winner for a reason. And again, I started thinking about that, and I thought, okay, how many times, especially in the early years of the World Juniors, when Canada won, it was often because a goaltender was absolutely insane. How many goalie-powered World Junior Championships has Canada won? Sometimes you get John, you remember the New Year's Eve game between the Russians and Canadians in 1975, and the shots on goal were like so lopsided in favor of the Canadians. It was a 3-3 game, and Vladislav Tretiak was unbelievable. And that's kind of that reminded me a bit of Sunday. I mean, the Canadians were so much better than the Russians New Year's Eve 75, but that goaltender, and the goaltender's on the team too.
You just wonder about some things they're meant to be and maybe they aren't meant to be, not only in sports but maybe in life in different areas. And it's at the end of that game, it's almost like that just wasn't meant to be in some way or another. Like Hellebuck throws his stick behind him, he catches the puck, it looks like it's going into an open net. Good instinct by him, also lucky on the other side. The first goal that the U.S. scored, the puck was bouncing all over the place. I wasn't convinced the ice was in very good shape the way the puck bounced through that whole game anyway.
The ice sure wasn't in good shape in Foxborough, Barney.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry for interrupting.
You just wonder about sometimes it's just not meant to be.
And you know,
somehow above our comprehensions or understanding.
You talk about the bounces and how it's going to be, you know, replayed and the Nathan McKinnon missing the open net and all. But then I thought about Vancouver, and I think about every time we see that goal or that picture of that goal, mostly the video of when Crosby comes out of the corner on Ryan Miller. And I always think about it from the other side. I'm like, what if he doesn't poke check there? Like, if Miller doesn't suspect that he could poke it from Sid, which is probably, I'm not a goalie, but that's the right play because Sid comes out, it's a quick play. But if he just goes down butterfly, Sid's shot's not that great there. It's when the poke check comes out, then there's no stick there to take it. So then there's another bounce, right? How about that save that Binnington makes early in the overtime?
Oh, my goodness, it could have ended right there.
Yeah, like, it's, and then I had to talk to my daughter, because she brings up, she's like, see, did you see this clip? Watch how McDavid isn't back checking hard and Makar isn't. I said, you can't. I said, it's moving fast. It's 3-on-3. Positionally, they're in a decent spot there. It's just that McKinnon kind of has, it looks like a bit of a hesitation on pinching up to take that puck. And then it's all happenstance, how it happened. You can't go back. They're the best players in the world. The only thing I wonder, and I don't think they will, I'll pose this to, do they look at maybe something different than 3-on-3 for
they're not going
the
to.
gold medal game?
The IOC just said the other day or yesterday that no, they are going to be sticking to this 3-on-3 format, going ahead to the 2030. But I mean, as John Cooper said after the game, 3-on-3 is not real hockey. It's not really the game of hockey. They don't do it in any of the NHL playoffs or the Stanley Cup final, obviously. So why would you do it for gold medal, which I said earlier in the show I believe is bigger than the Stanley Cup? It doesn't really make any sense, but on the other hand, the other team had the same rules as we did, and they won. And I mean, we won 2 major overtime games in 2010, and the Four Nations before that, it was their turn.
I remember thinking, too, as it goes to 3-on-3, I'm salivating. And not to disparage the talent on the American team. We got McDavid, we got McKinnon, we got Makar, and it's 3-on-3. Advantage Canada. Like, you put anybody else in the world against those three, those are the 3 guys you want. And so I would have rather seen 5-on-5, 4-on-4, sure. But if Canada won 3-on-3, I sure wouldn't be complaining. I was actually salivating at the spectacle. Oh, boy, McDavid 3-on-3, this is going to be great.
What's the other thing you'll take from this Olympics and that you'll remember? What's the one thing?
The female women's hockey final. It sounds a little preposterous to refer to Canada as an underdog in anything, but the way that series, those meetings with the States have evolved in recent years. I mean, the States was such a huge favorite. They'd won pretty handily earlier in the tournament, and Canada's hanging in there. They're up 1-0 late. And it's just, I wanted to see that one happen.
Yeah.
What a story that would have been. The other one, Mark McMorris finishing 8th, and he wasn't able to compete in big air. How amazing is it that in that space of time, he was able to recover to the point where he was able to compete?
Yeah,
that's quite a serious concussion.
That absolutely stuns me. And a couple of at a previous Olympics, he was injured and came back and won a medal. The things he's been able to do despite the misfortune, to get an 8th place finish, to even compete in that event, to me speaks so highly of him. And I think about the Olympic ideal.
What about you? What are you taking away from
I'd say 2 things. I think for me the biggest thrill was the gold medal curling game.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to talk very shortly to Ben Hebert. I think with the way that the world is going, the way things are happening, the importance of something like the Olympics came to the forefront, that the world needs something like the Olympics to bring us together in one way or another. I thought the IOC completely dropped the ball with the Ukrainian loser who had that helmet honoring some friends of his who had died in the Ukrainian-Russian conflict. I thought the IOC stunk the joint out on that particular call, because I don't think it was a political statement. I think instead it was just remembering and honoring his friends. But outside of that, I just thought the Olympics are a good thing. They're a very good thing. Thank goodness the world had a little bit of a break from what's going on and brought us together.
And it's great to watch live sports at 3 a.m. As a night owl, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
You know what we need now? What we really need? And I think female or male, hopefully both, we need a Canada-US flag football final in Los Angeles. We need both teams to qualify, and then that's what we need.
And these other countries are practicing so much in this flag football sport. Apparently, there's like the Italians.
Oh, they're
have a great
You can go and watch
team.
YouTube. Trust me, I get plays from. You can go and watch the Mexicans, the Italians. Watch how different the Japanese play.
Is that right?
It's crazy. Rob, thanks so much for coming in.
Oh, sorry. Thank you for having me. Sorry for the tacky jokes. I'm wearing the Pats hat because I'm going to the Pats game tonight. I got my Rider garb on.
I know we were supposed to talk some Pats. Isn't it exciting right now?
Pats are playing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, especially last week, Edmonton comes in here, and Edmonton's such a tremendous team this year, and the Pats beat them pretty handily. It's not an easy test tonight against Prince George. Don't only get to see them once every 2 years, so looking forward to that. I'm a Pat season ticket holder, and I love just local sports in the city. I'm glad I can partake in it in this avenue as well.
Maybe in a couple of weeks we roundtable and then we get ready for we talk more WHL and the playoffs, because you're going to go too. Are you going to the Pats game?
I might. I think that having Rob on a round table. I know he gets really busy during.
He's probably got some sort of joke about.
But I think let's give Barney kudos for the idea of bringing Rob in today and having an absolutely scintillating hour of sports talk radio.
Yeah, you guys are more than welcome to come whenever.
That maybe didn't wow the listeners.
Here too. Is it catered?
Yeah, Sharky can come. Why didn't Sharky call in right now? But I don't know. I thought it was great. I don't know what the listeners thought or the viewers. But I thought it was good.
No, people are probably sit there. They love the story. Every time you guys come on and you talk about the stories that a lot of people don't remember.
Rob does that. I forget everything.
No, you got
Rob,
some.
Rob,
I just thought people would be mad I didn't bring my dog.
Don't sell yourself.
Candy's coming next time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, then we got to, if the catered affair, we got to be careful if the dog's here. Okay, up against the clock, coming back with a sports ticker. Rob and Don, it was an awesome hour. I'll be right back.
The auction calendar is stacked at Ritchie Brothers, and an exciting Regina Unreserved auction is happening March 24th. Visit the Ritchie Brothers website or Regina location to view a wide variety of used equipment from top brand manufacturers. You won't want to miss this great opportunity. Head to rbauction.com/Regina to sign up and be ready for the auction. Again, that's rbauction.com/Regina.
10, that's 12.5.
You know, when you talk to folks who own a tri-haul self-unloading bale mover, you hear the same thing again and again.
Once you have one, you never want to be without one.
And this one made us all smile.
In the fall, it felt like all I did was haul bales. Now I go fishing.
That's the tri-haul difference. Order now and get free delivery up to 500 kilometers. Visit trihaulbalemovers.com or call 1-800-505-9208.
Hi, I'm Barbie. I'm terrified of bees. But I'm not afraid of fast internet from Glassers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer. Get away! With SaskTel's super fast speeds, I can stream, shop, and video chat without anything buzzing around, except my phone. And thanks to reliable Wi-Fi, even my smart doorbell warns me if a bee comes near. Technology 1, bees 0. So if you want fast, reliable internet without the sting, get connected. Contact Glassers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Mooseman today.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting nonstop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Jasmine Brown. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Regina. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Sask Lotteries has over 50 years of winning behind us. And you know what that means? Lots of winning numbers. Numbers like over 1,200 organizations funded and 12,000 plus groups supported. $6 million given away annually in community grants. And the winningest number of all? $1.4 billion given back to the people of Saskatchewan through sport, culture, and recreation. And we're just getting started. Learn more at sasklotteries.ca.
It's time for the Sports Ticker. The Early Bird Spring Sale is on now at Extreme Hockey. 15 to 25% off store-wide. 1425 McIntyre Street. Online at extremehockey.net. And now open in Moose Jaw.
All right, hockey tonight at the Brent Center, 7 p.m. If you can't make it, right here on 620 CKRM as well. Prince George Cougars and Regina Pats, the other Saskatchewan teams in action in the dub. The Blades welcome the Penticton Vs and Moose Jaws in Lethbridge. SJ Larange at Yorkton. Prairie Junior Hockey League playoffs. Pilot Butte playing host to the Mooseman Steelhawks at 8 p.m. How about a shout out to the Qu'Appelle Valley Highway Hockey League Junior C playoffs. Strasbourg's at the Regina River Rats, 8 p.m. Balcarres
is in Lumsden at 8:30. National Hockey League's back tonight. Canadian teams, Toronto's in Tampa Bay. Vancouver welcomes the Winnipeg Jets, and Edmonton skating in Anaheim. It is for Extreme Hockey and Sport. 3 locations, the regular store in Halifax. We got the Cooperator Center, and now in Moose Jaw, home of the price match guarantee. You're shopping around out there. You want to shop local, you support local. They'll price match as well. Extreme Hockey and Sport. Let's go and talk. It's that time of the week. It's been like, 2 weeks since I've done this. It's our segment with Crofty from Croft Electric. Crofty, how are those morning coffees in the Olympics? You probably miss it, don't you?
I do already. It's amazing how quick now you're just watching SportsCenter, and especially with no NHL on the last couple of days. It's been pretty boring on SportsCenter this morning.
That's right. Let's talk about people giving you a shout at Croft Electric if they need any of the electrical. And I heard you guys doing it last week, or maybe it was on Monday. Never a bad time if people are thinking about their cabins and what's coming up this spring and summer.
Oh, that's a great point. Great point. It's, what was it, +2 today? Everybody's starting to think about spring, whether you're on the farm or thinking about the summer cabin or even your summer renovation at home. Perfect time to get signed up for our preferred customer program, because when that starts getting busy for everybody, you can get priority booking and save on material and labor. As well as, we come out and do a 24-point inspection, get ahead of some of these problems. We know what we need when we come to do those renovations.
And another thing, Crofty, quickly, too, a lot of people, it's like, I always got a guy, or I'm going to try and do it myself. When it comes to electrical, a lot of times, you probably want a pro to do it.
Oh, yeah. I always say you don't want your neighbors, brothers, cousins doing your eye surgery, so why would you want him to do the most vital system in your home or your business or your farm electrical? You want somebody that knows what they're doing. We like making, we don't make sparks. We want to taking sparks away and make sure we, do it properly, do it right, do it once, as we say.
Right on. Okay, how do they find you? What's the best way?
Well, a couple different ways. Best way is always give us a call, 306-586-1333 if you want some immediate, assistance. But the website, we have book online or book a quote online there at www.croftelectric.com. And then as well, please follow us on all our socials so that you can keep up with our Tip Tuesdays and Friday Funnies and all the other good specials we have on there.
That's right. All right, Crofty, thanks so much, bud. We'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Have a great night, boys.
There you go. Dan Croft, Croft Electric. We're up against the clock. Coming up in Hour 3, Ben Hebert, the Senior Hockey Report, and also, if you missed it in Hour 1, Jacob Brammer from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. We'll be right back. It is a Sports Cage.
We are 620 CKRM Regina, a Harvard media station.
Good evening, I'm Tanner Wallace-Scribner from the SansToday.ca newsroom with 620 CKRM News for Echo Sound in Fort Capel. Stay connected with a new cell phone from Echo Sound. Call 306-332-6711 and brought to you by Capital Automotive Group. Capital's 100K giveaway is back. See capital100k.ca for more information. Premier Scott Moe says Saskatchewan should expect a deficit in the upcoming provincial budget, blaming global instability in ongoing trade and tariff issues. Moe told the Saskatoon business crowd that several provinces are facing similar revenue problems and pointed to BC's large deficit as an example. He promised Saskatchewan's shortfall will be smaller and said taxes and services will not be reduced. Moe also highlighted job growth and investment, saying the province remains resilient.
One is simply because of the diversification of what we produce here. We produce oil, but we're not dependent on oil. We produce many products through the mining investments that are made across the province, but we're not entirely dependent on one of those products.
The exact size of the deficit will be revealed when the budget is released on March 18th. And Premier Moe says more work is likely needed before Canada signs a trade agreement with India. Moe is traveling to India with Prime Minister Mark Carney to bolster Canada's trading relationship with the country. Moe says while the two countries may not agree on everything, both can benefit economically if they find common ground in some areas.
It doesn't mean that we agree with everything that the Indian government or the country of India stands for, but it does mean that we can find agreement in these spaces that benefit both of our countries and benefit, I would say, economically people in our province and our nation, and benefit by providing energy and food security to Indian individuals.
India has existing duties of 10% on Canadian lentils and 30% on yellow peas. Downtown Regina drivers will need to use pay by phone for on-street parking beginning on March 1st. The city has announced that coins will no longer be accepted at parking meters. Covered meters will display instructions, but parking rules and time limits will still apply. Payments can be made through the Pay by Phone app, website, or by calling a toll-free number using credit, debit, Apple Pay, Google Pay, or PayPal. The shift to digital payment was approved during the city's 2026-27 budget process. Saskatchewan has signed an MOU with Brazil. The agreement sets a framework to boost investment and cooperation in key sectors such as agriculture, mining, education, and technology. The deal was signed during a provincial trade mission to Brazil. Brazil is Saskatchewan's fourth largest export market, with shipments totaling $1.1 billion in 2024 and $1.3 billion so far this year, largely driven by potash exports. That's 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sastoday.ca and 620CKRM.com.
Capital's 100K giveaway is back for 2026. The Capital Automotive Group is giving away $100,000 in cash and prizes with no strings attached. We're proud to be part of communities across Western Canada, and we know it's those communities that allow us to exist. So every once in a while, once a year to be exact, we're going to say thanks by giving away $100,000 in cash and prizes. To learn more and enter to win, check out capital100k.ca. Capital's 100K giveaway. Do not miss it.
Picture this. You sit down to watch TV and suddenly your screen freezes harder than a triple axle. If you're ready for a smoother routine, Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has a better idea. Max TV Stream. More streaming, less buffering. A performance that actually sticks the landing. And while you're at it, glide into fast SaskTel internet and cell phone packages that are balanced, reliable, and make sense for your household. Smart entertainment, smart connectivity. Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Fort Qu'Appelle. EchoSound.ca.
Brought to you by Next Gen Coatings. Spray coatings for truck bed liners, rocker panels, and more. Same company, new name. 1865 McCarra Street in Regina.
A warm front continues to push off to our east, and a much milder air mass will build in for tomorrow out ahead of our next approaching cold front. That boundary will sweep through in the pre-dawn hours Friday with falling temperatures throughout the day. And colder than normal weather into the opening of the weekend. Temperatures will rebound back to near seasonable values by Sunday. It'll be a partly cloudy sky tonight. We're down to -4. West to southwest winds at 10 to 20. Chance of precipitation 20%. Plenty of sunshine. Milder on Thursday with a high near 4 degrees. West to southwest winds at 10 to 20. Partly cloudy Thursday night. Isolated snow showers or flurries. -4. West to southwest winds at 10 to 20. It'll be partly sunny and colder. Falling temperatures Friday. We're down to -15 by late afternoon. Northwest winds at 20 to 40. Partly, if not mostly sunny skies expected as we look forward to Saturday, -15, and lots of sun, -6 on Sunday. With your 620 CKRM Precision Weather Forecast, I'm meteorologist Russ Murley.
For 40 years, the team from Linex Regina has been protecting vehicles across Saskatchewan, and we're changing with the times. 3 generations of our family have protected your vehicles. Our business has evolved, and we're not stopping now. The next generation is here. Same family, same commitment. Ready for the next generation of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards in all kinds of colors. Linex Regina, 1865 McCarra Street. The next generation of protective coatings.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Regina Motor Products. RMP Winter Tires at Cost event on now until March 31st when you purchase a set of 4 tires. Visit RMP online or in person today. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-62 262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Welcome back. We've got a busy hour for you. Our hour 3, it's for Regina Motor Products on this Wednesday. Benny Hebert coming up in moments. Gold medalist from Regina Senior Hockey Report. Also, if you missed it, Jacob Brammer from our Saskatchewan Roughriders in hour 1. We're going to rerun that. Before we get into that, though, let's go to Sprinkle of the Day for Sports Select, sportselect.com. NHL hockey is back tonight. Figure that out. Kind of feels weird. Let's look at the Canadian teams tonight. The Oilers and Ducks. I'm tired. I haven't heard. I don't think Connor McDavid's playing this evening. Edmonton, the favorite in Anaheim. Maybe take the Ducks. Maybe go to tie 375. You can do it all now on your phone. Generate a QR code. Go to your Lotto Spot retailer and scan it. You can play those games as standalone. The over-under 6.5 as well. Maybe that's inviting for some. Sportselect.com. Every bet is 100% legal. Chance of winning cash in hand when you're ready to play. Bet on the original with Sports Select. Let's go back out on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline.
Okay, he's back with us. Regina boy, 2-time gold medalist, Ben Hebert. How does that, when you're delivering coffee for Colony Coffee here in Regina, did you ever think that it would be 2-time gold medal champion Ben Hebert? Does that just sound weird?
The 2-time Oli G is what my son calls it. So that's what I'm calling it, the Oli G. No, I mean, I don't know. That seems like a lifetime ago, but I loved that job, Colony Coffee. That was a good gig. Tell you what, as much as that job, paid like shit, I loved the owners, and I only really, they let me go to the gym every day and work out and throw rocks and all the things I needed to do as soon as I was done delivering the beans. So it was good gig. I miss those days.
Okay. Here's a question. I don't think I've ever asked anybody this. When's the last time you've seen your skip in his gotch?
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean here?
Well, didn't he show up to your room the other day with the gold medal on?
Yeah, he did. I was going to say Sunday morning. We were in the dorms, and so when we woke up, we weren't even up too late. I think everybody was pretty physically, mentally drained on Saturday night. We had a long, we had drug testing, and we had the podium ceremony. We had a bunch of pics with friends and fam, and then by the time we did the media and got back, it was probably midnight. We stayed in our little dorm rooms and sitting on the floor because there's no chairs. So maybe 3 or 4, crushed a few beers, had a couple vodkas, and then 9 a.m. rolled around. We had to get on our bus at 10, and I got woken up to my skipper, Brad Jacobs, in his undies and 2 beers, one for me, one for him, and gold medal wrapped around his neck, looking like a curling god. That's how I woke up on Sunday morning. It was amazing. So great celebration with the team.
It's funny because I'm picturing you guys in a dorm on the floor, just having some drinks, almost like Ben when you started this whole thing. Going to the small town Bonspiel, sharing rooms with guys. Those motels, sitting on the floor. Does that kind of translate? Does it take you back to that?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly. Yeah, definitely. I mean, seeing 2 guys in a room in a real small dorm and sharing the washrooms and the food that we ate all week in Italy, it was a grind. It wasn't the luxurious week by any stretch, but a real mentally tough team. And yeah, it takes you back to your days. When I was first starting on tour, we were doing 4 dudes in a room, right? That's about how much money we had. So, those are, to look back at those days now, we have a ton of good laughs, but there's a lot of great memories there as well. And yeah, sitting on the floor, we had 2 beds, a couple dudes on the beds. Rachel's team came in, had a couple with us. They were feeling good because they were out for dinner that night after they won bronze with their friends and fam. So just reminiscing with our team, their team, a lot of hard work put in, and just pulling off some steam and making more memories. It was amazing. That last shot that Brad had to make, was that more dicey than I guess the casual fan maybe sees on TV? Very. Yeah, that was a real tough shot. He had to be real close to the nose. On either side, you probably had half an inch for room for error. And the way we made it to kill their back one was really our only goal. We were just trying to give them 2. But when the dust settled and both of our rocks were frozen to each other, I knew the game was over. I didn't really look up too quick. I was screaming at Mark to sweep out that rock that kind of jammed at the back. And when he just got it out, I'm like, okay, we're going to extra ends here. It's all good. And then I looked up, and ours were in a perfect spot. That wasn't by design. I was the curling gods looking down, giving us a little sprinkle of love. But when we saw those two rocks frozen together, I knew we'd won. I was just planning the celebration at that point.
When you go into those final ends, and I've always wondered this, and I don't think I've asked you this before, is there like a playbook to go to? Be like, okay, we're up this or we're this. We need them to only count this. Is there a playbook to go to, or do you play it out in the moment?
Oh, no, there 100% there's a playbook. I mean, if you're up 1, you're going to need a center guard to play defense. If you're up 2, do you need a center guard, or can you get out of the end with a double? And then if you're up 3, you want as little as rocks in play as possible, so you can just have as many open hits to kind of run them out of rocks. Mm-hmm. But we executed our playbook actually quite good in the 10th end. But they played a really, really good end. They put 4 or 5 rocks in a real, real tough spot, which in the end Brad had to make 2 good doubles. But in Brad Jacobs fashion, and why we've been so amazing these last couple of years is he executed again, and we got to get to the top of the podium again, baby. It was sweet.
The last time you won gold, the kids, really young, they won't remember it. What do the kids get about all this now?
Won't remember it, buddy. They weren't born for for 3 more years after that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I mean, having the family there was amazing. My kids, I said in an interview the other day, like, they see it a lot different how I see it. I look at it as something I'm good at, and being competitive and getting out there and being fiery and, trying to win and, trying to be a good role model for them. But they just see it in such a different light. They think it's pretty cool. Their dad's on TV and playing the Olympics. And, I don't have any huge aspirations of, going to Italy for a family vacation by any stretch. But, we got to do that and take a couple of wicked private boat rides in Venice. And we got the best pictures and memories that are going to last a lifetime. My wife was a champ, just hosted the kids and everybody else for 2 full weeks in Italy while I got to sleep in the dorms with the boys, old school. So that was amazing, and we got to celebrate properly with them on Sunday night in Venice. We had a nice family dinner and went and watched the men's hockey game, and it was awesome.
I was going to ask you, what else did you take in for sports while you were there? Anything much?
Yeah, well, we got to see the skeleton and the bobsled. They weren't far from the curling venue, and then, we watched everything. We had a sweet little projector we set up in the room throughout the week. We watched a ton of the hockey. We watched a ton of the speed skating. Canada was doing really, really well. Trying to think of what else we all saw live, but just the way I watched a ton of Mark McMorris and the snowboarding. It was unfortunate for him in the big air there, but even good to see him compete again in the slope style. And all the ski cross, snowboard cross, all those crazy sports, man, those athletes are so sick to watch. So, we were in our Canada section in the village, and with all the other, we were at the bobsledders, the lugers, all the sliding athletes. And so we were always there cheering on whoever was playing those nights, and we had a lot of downtime, so we did get to watch a ton of it, but not a ton of it live. But still living that Olympic spirit, when you're there dressed up in all your Lulu gear and your kit, feeling very Olympia with all the other athletes. It's a really cool experience.
I'm sure a Monday Nooner shirt under that kit too, probably.
I took it. I had it with me.
Yeah, attaboy. Hey,
I did.
I met him at the Sheraton. Mark Kennedy is 6'2". He's taller than what he looks on TV. Mark Kennedy, Oscar Eriksson. Let's say Rochdale outside of Riffle. Who are you taking?
Okay, well, Mark Kennedy's not 6'2". Mark Kennedy's 5'10". However, you take Mark Kennedy every day of the week with that old man strength. Wouldn't even be close. He'd crumble like this little chicken shit that he is, that Oscar. Little snake in the grass. Stuff that he tried to pull at that Olympics was not very Olympia of him. And we've played him for a long time. And, he is a great curler, and they're a championship team. Even though they finished dead last at those games, a little karma bit him, but lost a lot of respect for him, the stuff that he tried to pull when, he's won the Olympics, they've won Grand Slams, they've won World Championships, and when they were at the high of their peak, you never saw that stuff from him. But these last 2-3 years, they've been on a brutal stretch, pretty irrelevant in the curling world, haven't really won anything, they're out of the Grand Slams, dead last in the Olympics, puts a big stamp on that. A lot of stuff there that kind of came out at a bad time maybe for us, take a little bit of heat for standing up for ourselves, but 95% of Canadians loved it.
Yeah,
we got the hockey mentality on our team, on our curling team. We're not going to be bullied and pushed over by a bunch of sour grape Swedish guys out there that are getting their asses handed to them. So we didn't have any of that. Finished on the top of the podium with the gold, and they finished dead last. So I think that says a lot.
Did they find some sort of loophole or something though? Did I read that right?
Yeah. They just found something in the rule book that not a lot of people knew, and it's nothing that's ever been officiated before. But I think more than anything, what they exposed was that the rule was probably incorrect, and I think the World Curling Federation will fix it. So, we were the first people that, they videoed that they saw, double touching the stone, but then towards the end of the games, you saw videos of Nicholas Adine, Oscar, Bruce Mowat, all the best teams, men and women, accidentally, your finger nail drags on the back of the rock. Well, the handle's about 2 inches above the rock, so when you take your hand off the rock, because a lot of times your hand's going to touch the rock anyways, whether you mean to do it or not. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't affect the game. It doesn't affect the outcome. It's just a rule that was kind of put in. Not really sure what the purpose was, but it obviously didn't have a lot of thinking time put into that decision. And I think they'll go back now and realize that it's something that they can't officiate. There is no way to manage it. It doesn't affect the game. And they'll go back to the rule like we have in Canada. You can touch any part of the stone before the hog line. I just solve a whole bunch of problems. And those poor officials of the Olympics, they're trying to call something and referee something that they've never done before in their life. And so that's why when they started looking for it and they had officials on the hog lines for 2 days in a row and a bunch of teams got rocks pulled, here's the deal. My team never got rocks pulled. Never once. But all these other countries did. And so when they started getting rocks pulled all over the place, then it got real quiet with the curling teams and the people that were sour. And then the WCF said, okay, we can't go through the Olympics like this. We're going to fix this. We're going back to before. Let's get rid of this stupid double touch thing. And it kind of went away. And the players by that point, then they self-managed. And then we didn't have to worry about the Swedes at that point because they were out at day 3. And that was day 8, 9, or 10. So they were long gone by then.
Do you think about 4 years down the road, can you do this at 46?
Oh, I got no intentions of it. I probably, if I really, really wanted to, and, not be involved with my kids and not work a full-time job and, not spend some time with my wife and, sure. Could I get to the gym every single day and throw rocks every day and do it? Sure. But I have no interest in that. I've done way more in this sport than I ever thought I was going to. I still love it. Still a very good player. I'm probably better now than I was at 30. But I'm going to have a talk with my team here next week at the Briar and see if we maybe want to play one more year. Briar's in Saskatoon next year, so for me, obviously, selfishly, I wouldn't mind playing one more Briar back home before I retire, but I'm definitely not have any interest in going back to the Olympic Games. I got to go to 3. I won 2 of them, so we'll see if I continue to play after this year. I'm content either way, and coach my daughter's softball team and maybe coach my son, get them both curling and be around for my job that I haven't been to since November. So I got a career I got to start looking at too. But all good. I'm going to be happy either way. But I'll talk to the boys here this next couple of weeks and we'll make a decision.
Okay, last one for you, Benny. Do you bring that gold medal to the member guest? Do you bring it to the Royal Regina this summer?
Oh, I'm going to be slinging it around the Royal Reg this summer. But the amount me and Losey lost last year, I might be auctioning it off by the end of this. If Dave keeps shooting 105 and playing as a 6, so we'll see how it goes. But no, I'll bring it to Regina with all the boys. We'll get some cool picks and have a few whiskeys and pints in July at the Royal Reg.
Oh man, so cool. Everyone was pulling for you here. Can't wait to see you. Thanks for doing this as always, buddy.
Okay, Martin. Cheers, buddy. Thanks a lot.
That is Regina's Benny Hebert, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, NOD fame, Royal Regina fame. Yeah, what a ride for him. Hope you enjoyed that one. If you missed most of it, you can listen to podcast form again, as always, here on the Sports Cage as we stream through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com on all the streams, and of course, the home of local sports in Saskatchewan, 620 CKI.
Back to our regular spot, Pump Jacks Cathedral.
I thought Pump Jacks was a kind of boot polish till last month.
What are you getting?
Kerwin's crispy ribs and a cold pint of local craft. Crispy, meaty, beautiful. You had me in needy. Plus, we got live music on the weekends, big screens. This place is basically my second marriage. And way cheaper than the first.
On the corner of Albert and 13th, Pub Jack's Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. Come early, stay late. The place where friends meet.
And the puck's dropped on your financial future. Are you skating toward retirement? Don't get caught offside when it comes to your work pension, farm succession, or changing family needs. Chad Reach, Senior Wealth Advisor, and the team at GP Financial Services and Aviso Wealth are your local independent advisors helping Saskatchewan families plan for retirement and beyond. 306-584-2755, gpfinancial.ca. Mutual funds and other securities are offered through Aviso Wealth, a division of Aviso Financial Inc.
The auction calendar is stacked at Ritchie Brothers, and an exciting Regina Unreserved auction is happening March 24th. Visit the Ritchie Brothers website or Regina location to view a wide variety of used equipment from top brand manufacturers. You won't want to miss this great opportunity. Head to rbauction.com/Regina to sign up and be ready for the auction. Again, that's rbauction.com/Regina.
20, 10, that's 12-5.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Steelcraft Doors Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canadians.
Big 2 points on the line tonight at the Brand Center. Pats hosting the Prince George Cougars, 7 p.m. You can hear it right here on 620 CKRM. Pregame show starting at 6:30. Other Saskatchewan teams, Blades hosting Penticton, Moose Jaws in Lethbridge. In the SJ, Laurent's traveling into Yorkton. Little Junior B playoffs, Moosomin's at Pilot Butte starting at 8 p.m. Little Shutout Capel Valley Highway Hockey League Junior C playoffs. Strasbourg is at the Regina River Rats and Balcarres at the Lumsden Monarchs. NHL is back. As for Canadian teams, Toronto's in Tampa Bay, Winnipeg and Vancouver skate, and Edmonton in Anaheim. That is your sports ticker for Steelcraft Doors Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canadians.
Time now for the Saskatchewan Senior Hockey Reports on the Sportscage. Brought to you by Warren Steinley, MP for Regina Leuven, always on Saskatchewan's side. And Croft Electric, 28 years of trusted, reliable home, farm, and commercial service for all electrical needs. CroftElectric.com and all socials.
All right, it's a Monday nooner, guys, and we got the Senior Hockey Report here on the Sportscage. Boys, first off, let's go to provincials, and we'll start with D. Brandon, if you're going to give us a quick elevator pitch on what's happening in D, what would you say?
Local towns battling it out. Started with 26. We're down to 8, but we'll be down to 4 teams very soon. I said it right from the start, not to toot my own horn, but in the bracket challenge, I took Macklin against Milestone in the provincial final. Right now, it looks like that's got a very strong chance of happening.
All right. I think, is it C that we had the Assiniboia Shaunavon battle? Went to game 3. No JJ Hunter in game 2 and game 3, but Shaunavon pulls it out. All roads there are leading. Sorry, no disrespect, leading to Rosetown Shaunavon final in C is what I'm hearing on the streets. What about B? Anybody got any? What's going on in B? Small this year.
Wilkie Outlaws Kenora in the North final. That should be good. That's a little little jaunt there, east to west. That matchup, I expect 3 games possible there. I expect close games regardless. Insiders might give Wilkie a small advantage, but I think that's going to be a bit of a pick'em situation. And then in the South, you got the Balcarres Bronx and the Oxbow Huskies from the Big Six against the Bronx from the QVHHL. I don't think these teams have crossed paths much, so curious to see what happens there. Could go either way.
Okay, and then in A, last night, game 2, Foam Lake had to stay alive, and they did. Huge Tuesday night win on the road in Kenaston, 6-2. That forces a game 3 Saturday night in Foam Lake. Ooh, mama. That is going to be a good one in Senior A. But a lot of people are talking. Lumsden hammered up on Kindersley in game 1, 9-3. Raymore Yorkton, really good game, 6-4. Game 2 is when?
Lorburn, not Yorkton, but game 2 is this weekend.
Lorburn and Raymore, game 2 this weekend. It was Raymore 6-4 over Lorburn. Then Round Lake Redvers, they're tied at 2. Game 3 Saturday night, Ochapowace First Nation, Round Lake and Redvers.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Shank. And I'll tell you, I really think that Lumsden series, they're going to get that one done. I think it'll be a Lumsden-Kenaston South final. The Lorburn side, I don't know, Boz. I don't know what you think. It's going to be, I think whoever comes out of Redvers and Round Lake will be heading to the final on the north side.
You're a little bit backwards there on the matchup.
Oh.
It'll be Lumsden, Round Lake in the South final.
Oh, that's who they would be, and then Kenaston's up on the north side. Okay.
Kenaston, Raymore. Raymore is in the north, and so is Kenaston. Just
they're the mixer.
Let's throw Yorkton in as well.
Yeah, we'll throw Yorkton in.
The Nooner boys are
and Melville. And Melville.
19. Quickly, a couple of leagues. Belts, what can you tell us? Where are the playoffs landing in the Nautica?
Nautica fellas, Gravelberg, they are they're pesky. They finished 7th in the league. They tied up with first place Milestone. Game 3 Tuesday in Milestone at 8 p.m. And Yellowgrass, they were 6th in the league. They're up 2 games to rip on 4th seed Avonlea. Game 3 is Friday in Avonlea. Things are starting to shake out there. We should have a final set late next week.
Wicked. In the Long Lake Hockey League, we got like a historic year again with a team in the final that hasn't been there in a long time.
Yeah, Lanigan knocked out Wynyard last weekend, and Wynyard's goalie got hurt. So in Game 3, they had to put a forward in, Michael Jordan, and then they lost 10-3, and then they had to go back to Lanigan the next day, and then the Pirates came out on top, and they're going to the finals for the first time in 10 years. So I know the town is buzzing right now.
Who are the other 2 teams in the other semi? Who will they play?
Foam Lake is playing Drake, and Foam Lake is up 2-0 right now, and they're looking to put them away this Thursday.
Okay, I'm going to go over to the Qu'Appelle Valley Highway Hockey League. The Lumsden Monarchs, one of the number 1 teams or top 5 team in the province again this week on the Monday Nooner podcast. They are taking on the Balcarres Broncos. First game's tonight in Balcarres. Game 1 of that series. The other one, Grenfell and Raymore at time of recording, they were playing. So that's the Qu'Appelle Valley Highway Hockey League. And Boz, just end it maybe with the Big 6. Where are we in the Big 6? Moosomin's still got to be alive.
Piece of advice, though. Always dress a backup. Even if it's just a local kid who played U18 midget hockey, always have a backup. So have to put your first line forward in net. Semifinal season in the Big 6. Wednesday night, actually, as this goes out, couple big game 2s. Carlisle's home to Redvers. They trail the series 1-0. And Moosomin is up 1-0 in their series, and they're in Oxbow tonight at 8 o'clock. Wednesday night, that is. Tonight, yep.
Follow the Monday Nooner podcast on all the socials. You can go and listen to the top 10 that was just released today, the senior top 10. Every week they bring it to you. You want a teaser? Is that what you're saying out there, that you'd like me to maybe give a tease on who was in the top 10 this week? There's movement. Let's just put it that way. There are some teams in A that have moved up. There are some teams that have dropped down. Monday Nooner podcast on all the socials, and of course where you listen to podcasts, you'll find them there. It's brought to you by Warren Steinley, MP for Regina Louvan, always on Saskatchewan's side, and Croft Electric in and around southern Saskatchewan. Follow them on the socials. They're a good follow as well. Crofty, and if you need a generator, they do some work in that as well. That was a senior hockey report. We are the home of local sports in Saskatchewan. The Sportscage, streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com and on 620 CKRM.
Winter in Saskatchewan tests everything, our patience, vehicles, and sometimes our bumpers. From icy parking lot dings to serious highway mishaps, choosing local matters. At Regina Motor Products Collision Center, we're Saskatchewan-owned, run, and we drive these roads too. An SGI-accredited full-service collision center working on all makes and models. Submit your SGI claim and book your appraisal. It's easy. When you need repairs you can trust, it's neighbors helping neighbors. Regina Motor Products Collision Center, south at Highways 1 and 6 Albert Street, rmpchevrolet.com.
Out on the prairies, some herds are still living like it's 1995, waiting around the corral like they're expecting a landline to ring. Trouble is, it's 2026, and your cattle need water where they are, not where the old hookup happens to be. That's where Keln Solar makes you the hero. With solar livestock watering systems, you can drop a pump just about anywhere. No grid, no trenching, no fuss. Modern tech for modern ranching. Keep the water moving and the herd happy. Keln Solar. They move water because your cows won't. Visit kelnsolar.com.
Get it hot, get it fast, Western Pizza.
Been a long day, your feet hurt, your brain is fried, and now supper? You're staring into the fridge, contemplating your options, but your energy says, let's just not. Now imagine golden, crispy pizza loaded with all the Greek favorites. Feta, olives, tangy tomato sauce, fresh veggies, and melted mozzarella. Every bite is like a Mediterranean vacation for your taste buds, and you didn't lift a finger. Western Pizza. Dine in or take out today.
Get it hot, get it fast, Western Pizza.
Text CKRM 306-936-6262 for Prairie Land Rentals. Renting heaters, skid steers, and most power tools for all those winter jobs. And your official Husqvarna snow thrower dealer. Prairie Land Rentals, 600 Albert Street, where you deal with the owner. Back to Sportscage. Text 306-936-6262. 620 CKRM.
Pats game night tonight against the Prince George Cougars, making their only trek into Regina for a couple of years. Dante Caria, voice of the Pats, with us. Dante, I gotta tell you, I'm going through social media. I was off last week, obviously following the dub and what's going on, and then it was a couple days ago. I'm like, Pats 5-game win streak snapped with loss to the Vs. The Pats on a 5-game win streak. I think if you would have told people that back in September, they would have been, get out of here. But the boys are playing exciting hockey. It's an exciting time to be in the building.
Yes, it is, and that was actually their longest winning streak since guess when the Pats finished sixth in the 2022-23 season when they had Bedard, House, Uzdalev, Spolzel, and Vallis. That was a really exciting team that took Saskatoon all the way to Game 7 in the first round. So it's been a long time for Pats fans to celebrate a 5-game win streak, and they ran into a really good team in the Penticton Vs. They're the oldest team in the WHL. They've got 13 19-year-olds in their roster and 4 20-year-olds. So they're essentially the oldest team in the league. So it was only a matter of time before that winning streak was going to come to an end. But give the Pats a ton of credit. They've been playing some really good hockey. I liked how they responded in the third period, outscoring Penticton 3-1 in the third. Connor Bear scoring a couple goals. So, tonight's a really tough test. Prince George is really good. They're undefeated on their Eastern Division road trip so far. They're 3-0. They're third in the Western Conference standings with 72 points. This is the final out-of-conference game of the season. So after tonight, 12 more games remaining, all against Eastern Conference opponents. So very important games coming up for the Pats.
We don't like to single them out all the time, but it is exciting. And I know a lot of parents and hockey people out there, they want to see the two 15-year-olds skate, Liam Pugh, Maddox Schultz, in the lineup tonight.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they've been playing some really good hockey as of late. I mean, you look at Maddox Schultz with 7 points in his last 7 games. He's been so important. He's actually leading the Pats in face-off win percentage at around 58%. And by the way, he's only 15 years old. Let's make sure that people remember that. And then Liam Pugh just celebrated his 16th birthday, and he's been a very important piece to the Pats. I know the Pat Canadians, I'm sure, would love to have those two in the lineup, but they've really dominated the U18 AAA level, and they've really come into their own at the WHL level. And for this team to get into the playoffs, they need Maddox and Liam in the lineup. I mean, maybe earlier in the season it was a little bit of a different story, but this team has really provided a ton of energy for this team. When Maddox is essentially facing off against the other team's top line and taking on those tight matchups and having to win faceoffs in the D zone and the attacking zone and on the ice with 2 or 3 minutes left in the game, I think that just goes to show how much trust Bad Haroff has in him. And he's taken on a huge role over the last couple of weeks, and he's really played really well. And Liam Pugh has done the same thing. I mean, you watch him with the puck, like they're just getting so much better, Barney.
Yeah, no, it's I'm hearing it too. It's exciting to watch. I can't wait to see it tonight. And then, like you said, Prince George, third in the Western Conference. We don't see them all that much. They're on a 3-game winning streak. They're 7-3-0 in their last 10. What's the makeup of Prince George, though? They got that big, physical, grinded out kind of team that we've seen from Prince George in the past?
Yes and no. I mean, let's start with their goaltender, Joshua Ravensbergen, who I'm not sure if he'll get the start in net tonight, but he did start last night against Brandon, and he's a first-round pick of the San Jose Sharks and represented Canada at the World Juniors. So they have a very good goaltender in Joshua Ravensbergen. They also have the number one defensive prospect in the WHL in Carson Karls, who also represented Canada at the World Juniors, and everybody knows that name. He's an amazing talent. A lot of people have him going in the top 10 in this year's NHL draft, maybe even the top 6. So they're very good there. They've got an exciting young forward in Tarek Parasak, who's a first-round pick of the Washington Capitals, expected to be, somebody who's going to hopefully lead this team past the first round. This is a Prince George team that has made it past the first round in the playoffs in each of the last 3 years, with a conference finals appearance 2 years ago when they lost to Portland, who ended up losing in the league final to the Moose Jaw Warriors. So they're still a veteran team. They've got some really good young players, like I mentioned, in Carson Karls. They've got some good Americans. They have a couple of really good Russian players on their roster. So I expect this team to play with a lot of speed, a lot of pace. Don't forget about Corbin Vaughn returning to the Brand Center. He'll add some physical, play on the ice as well. So they're a very balanced team.
Right on. Okay, Dante, thanks again. As always, it's awesome. Wednesday night. It's a nice night, too. The weather's good. Get out there, support the Pats. Thanks for doing this, bud.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening and watching the Sportscage on sportscage.com and at 620 CKRM.
Debt can take over your life. The stress, the constant worry, it can feel like you're drowning. When people come to see me, they're often anxious and feeling hopeless. But when I explain how I can help them get out of debt, those feelings melt away. I'm Jasmine Brown, a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Regina. I will create a personalized debt relief plan so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Why have just one?